Hello, chatto! It's Thursday, and coming up today on Building a Nation with Wisła Kraków, we're back in the Champions League final for, I believe, the 5th time in this save. But this one is a little bit special because we put 11, that's right, 11 goals past Chelsea in the semi-final, a record for me and probably a record for Europe as well.
Hi,
we may have got back
Nato
into third in the
Chato.
Champions... Fuck!
How's this Thursday treating you? I wasn't here, so Prem reactions?
God damn it, man. I was saying we were doing well. We weren't. It was a little bit sabotaged. In fact, no, it actually just was. It actually was. It's rare. Usually I can just rub that in. I think it's because I kind of didn't know what else I was supposed to say at that point. It's like, we're in the Champions League final. What more do I need to say? If anything, the intro should have just been me going, that would have been fine, right? It's old school. A wild Aviar, though. Thank you very much. I appreciate the 16 months. And also, I'm sure those of you that predicted I'd mess up the intro appreciate Aviar even more. Oh, dear. Premier action. So, I've got double things on that today because you may not be aware of this, but I basically went through last week and
Hello,
I predicted
Matto
every
and
single
Chato.
Premier League game for the entire
I bought
season.
a Subaru today, and some Chapel Roan bumper stickers. My metamorphosis into a middle-aged lesbian is complete.
Yes, you're going to have to start doing some rock climbing or at least get some carabiners. Like, that's... To be fair, I do like a Subaru. What type of Subaru? That's important. Is it an Impreza or are we talking like a... What one's the estate or a Subaru Outback? That could be... They do look cool, though. I do like a Subaru in general. Thank you, though, for the 23 months. I do appreciate that. 11. I mean, it is... How else are you going to represent 11? I don't have enough fingers. This is Cambridgeshire, sir. How dare you? Multiple It's a Forester High... Oh, yes. Scouseraw. I mean, you're just in now, aren't you? At the very least, you've now stepped up the Allies table to, like, top of the list, surely. Incredible seats. That does sound like a good card, to be fair, though. I had a Greg's today. Oh, I was so happy. Shout out to Dolly Parton as well. I love this song as well. It's such a good song. So sad to see her passing. It's impossible not to like Dolly Parton, I feel like. It's just, she's one of those people who you're just like, you know what I mean? It's Dolly Parton, Christ. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's the problem with the standing desk, Neo Crower. You no longer have that competent... Yeah, Tim Curry as well. Less famous for his musical... Actually, then again, he did do a bit of singing sometimes, didn't he, old Tim Curry? Not quite on the level of Dolly Parton, of course. Famous for different things, no doubt. Still sad to see both of them go. The third... Oh, is this an Aaron Ramsey thing again? You take that back. I guess... Yeah, but not like Dolly Parton level, you know? Only Japanese card. All right, this should be interesting. Actually, before I do anything else, the culmination of August's fantasy points, to the surprise of nobody, Tomek won. I think we could have all have seen that coming. Anna did shoot up towards the end, and Adventurous Aardvark, as a result of winning last time out, did also jump up 11 places onto the leaderboard as well. Andrew just about stayed on there on, I don't know, goal difference, if we're doing goal difference, if that is even a thing. I don't know how it does that. Probably alphabetics, Andrew, which means you're in for good luck. It's okay, Wild Aviar. It makes sense for it's for the plot, right? Let me just get some points payout for you lot. Ooh, far too many believers today. The second there's anything on the line, it's just, yeah. Hello, Harvey. How are you, friend? You might notice I'm not suited up for this particular final. 2 reasons. One, when you've been in 5 of them, it becomes a bit passé. And secondly, the humidity today is fucking unreal. It's pissing it down with rain. Like, honestly, I've just opened the curtain. Did you notice the light change in any way? It's so dark outside that I don't think I even really need... I don't even need the curtains shut. That's how dark it is outside at the moment. It's absolutely twatting it down right now. And I decided today would be the perfect morning to go for an 8-mile run along the river. I got caught in an absolute monsoon right as I was running along the river. Did see a giant heron, which was cool, but I couldn't really see because of the sheer amount of rain. Thankfully, I was wearing my waterproof rain jacket. First time I've ever worn it on a run. I thought, you know what, today just looks like the type of day that I'm going to need that. And by golly did I, otherwise that would have been drenched. And it is actually waterproof, which is good to know. You know, sometimes you buy those waterproofs and, it's like, oh yeah, it's waterproof, and then you just find it isn't. Nah, this one actually was, thankfully. Great deal as well. I got it for like 16 quid in the Sports Direct sale. Knocked down from like £80. So shout out to that, I guess. Keep the light in. I couldn't bear to. I mean, I don't dim my sparkle. Think of what the neighbours could see. Refund your song request. Did it not work? My bad. There we go. Sick. Sometimes they do take a little while to go through, potentially, sometimes as well. Just put that out the way as well, because otherwise I can't see chat properly. There we go. Hello, Rob. diminishing spam by... No. I mean, what I was thinking of was Rocky Horror Picture Show. I watched Perks of Being a Wallflower the other day and was reminded about Rocky Horror, of course. But come on, like, if you're doing a lineup of singers, you're still going to put Dolly Parton above Tim Curry. It doesn't diminish Tim Curry, but it does raise Dolly up, surely. Upload the first video with background music, like suggested. Nice. Did you implement the other changes as well? Because obviously background music is important to have, because it just does... It allows for more bedding, as I suppose. But, like, send me the video after stream, actually, if you could. I'd be curious to know. Decisions at the Premier League. Honestly, yeah. Like, I know it's a loss, but ultimately, it's kind of what I expected, to be honest. Welcome in, Corny. How are you, my friend? Leave that's been announced. Right, I'm getting off my big face for a minute, because on the Premier League prediction thing, which I forgot to actually set up this time, bear with 1 second, friends. I predicted the results of the games at the weekend, and also the rest of the entire season. These were they, if you missed them. I will be later on stream revealing my predictions that I made last week for this week's games. Now, whether those will be any good or not, I don't know. I won't even look at them myself now, because I've already forgotten what predictions I made. These are the predictions from last weekend. Some of them were better than others, shall we say. Wow, he predicted Arsenal to beat Coventry. Shocker. Did predict Man United wouldn't win, and then it was just a run of bad results, until I did get this one dead on, but that is my crowning glory. I'm going to be living off this for weeks when I continue to get every single prediction wrong for the rest of the season, but predicting a 3-2 defeat for Fulham, I'll absolutely take that. Now, I've got a thing in my reminder to show you the predictions for this week's fixtures soon, but I've already forgotten what I predicted, and that's what makes this fun, to be honest. Hello, Blair. Whatever I think of Tim Curry. I don't think I'll be able to play that likely because of any likely copyright stuff, potentially, anyway. More their cards and goals and assists in his career. I can see that being the case. Oh. Yes, the Champions League group stage draw, that's tonight, right, at 5 o'clock. It was a good game. And we lost, and I will still come away from the game feeling happy because it felt like it was nice to watch. It was on edge of the seat at times, but it was still more interesting, personally, right? It's just one of those things for me. So here's the coefficient at the moment as things stand. Nothing we do today really can have any giant effect on it, because even if we win, we'd get the points for the win. Now, it's nice to get that, because it would move us a little bit closer to 20 points, which is pretty good in a season where we only had 6 teams, essentially. But we're also getting penalised for 7. We have got 3rd place for next season. Unfortunately, Spain have lost a bit of ground to England as a result of England doing well, but not actually winning either of the major trophies, weirdly, which is an odd one. So they've just got points out of nothing, I suppose, as they always do. Hold on Tuesday. Oh, are you a Celtic fan by any chance? Of course you are. I've just seen the rest of your name. Yeah, that was the first thing that I had on my list of talking points today, genuinely, was what the hell, Celtic, was that? I assumed that they were already going to go through, and then I had the score reminders on my phone for it, and then I saw Celtic take the lead, and I went, the exact thing you need to do in that moment was get in front of the game. And 99.9999 times, that's just, right, you're cooked at this point. No matter what you do, you can sort of game manage the rest of it. And then Lass kind of went, you know what, actually, no. I don't think you will be doing that. They're a very good team, of course, but, like, put it this way. I feel like, realistically, if you take a 4-0 advantage on any team, realistically, any team, you shouldn't be losing that, no matter who you are, realistically. Even if you're a National League side against Manchester United, even then, you'd still be favouring the National League side to not concede 4 or 5 goals in the rest of that game. If you look at like FA Cup matches, for example, right? So that's what still makes that. So no matter how good Lask are, the gap in quality is not that high, is it, right? I mean, 5 is an absurd amount of goals. I think it's one of those things where once it started and they get the bit between their teeth, it was just off. Like, terrible for Scottish football, because it looked like Celtic were the adults in the room and the one team that were going to be like, actually, listen, we've got this. We'll be in the Champions League for the first time in a while, right? And it's all good. And then no. But Hearts, shout out to Hearts Hearts know how to beat an Austrian side. Albeit on penalties, admittedly. But they still did it, crucially. Also, Saba as well, going through. Weren't they like 4 down in that one too? Insane stuff. I love Champions League qualifiers. I always prefer that to the rest of it. Why are the best scouting setups? Hang on. Sorry, I'm a bit confused as the question, Andreas. Why are the best scouting setup are this YouTube with name and then the name of a video? That's if I'm trying to read between the lines here, that video is a sort of supplement to other scouting setups. It's not specifically the best scouting setup. I have another video that talks about all the scouting setups that is probably more up your street. I think ! Scouting might even give you a link directly to it. That video is more like a kind of like an addendum to it, if that makes sense. It's like a sort of a follow-on. The qualifiers are a lot of the fun part, aren't they? Some of the crazy scorelines you see as well. Hopefully that is the scouting guide video, yeah. Watford won Peterborough 5. Yeah, I saw some random Peterborough fan had actually predicted that they'd win 5-0. Which, okay, they only won 5-1, but still, that's a hell of a shout. Don't just change this. Yeah, I mean, what do you do with Scottish football? Because clearly, I say it's a fun domestic league. It certainly was last year, but like, where do you go from here? Because there was a time when Scottish football was in the doldrums as far as European stuff as well, but it seemed to come back for a bit. Mostly, obviously, Rangers' crazy Europa League run and stuff, but Celtic were pretty good that year as well. Like, it feels like it's gone away again. And is it just because all the good players exited after that or whatever? Or, like, what is it that's actually causing that to happen? 3-4 defense, fair enough, but like 5-1 still pretty bad, isn't it? You think that they would try to... I suppose with the Carabao Cup is such a weird one because you either see teams getting absolutely pumped by much better sides or you get really weird results all the time. It's very strange. Mateus MJ for shorts. Had a very good start to quite challenging matches. Mateus MJ.
You know if there's a train coming?
Forgive me, I don't know who Mateus MJ is. I'm sure this is one of these things where I'm a massive idiot, but I don't know who Mateus MJ is specifically. Pengs, thank you very much for the follow. Through the game to prevent the other teams getting roughly 700,000. Oh, Matthias Jasler. Maybe? Oh, sorry, my apologies. I didn't know what that. I've never heard him called Matthias MJ before. Did Newcastle play last night? I actually don't know if they had a game already. I know they played against Liverpool. I thought they were okay against Liverpool, but I was only watching the game out the corner of my eye while I was working, so it's hard to say. But I think they'll be fine. Plus, you guys have just signed Nico Gonzalez, right, from City this morning. That much I did see. Bad issue. Teams qualify, struggling in Europe, don't qualify next year. And the ones that do. Oh, in it just. I mean, that's kind of what we're facing here, by the way, because our little stunt that we pulled last stream has actually come back and royally bitten us in the body. Yeah, I forgot there was Carabao Cup games last night. I had the notifications on for the Tuesday games, but not the Wednesday ones, because I forgot that I didn't have those automatically set up. Robbie, or Robert, thank you very much for the follow as well, my friend. Welcome in. We will get into the final in a minute. We're just sort of catching chat up on what happened towards the after last stream while I was getting us to this stage, which is how this happened as well. 3-2, technically should have been, they got a penalty, wasn't it? Oh, okay, I mean, a win's a win, right? Get through the... I heard someone refer to it as the round of 46. Horrifying. No, I don't like that. I mean, it was either the next round as the round of 46 or this one was. Either way, ban it. Get it away from me. Kill it with fire. No. You can't be having round of 46. No, I'm sorry, that's not allowed. You can't have round of anything until all the teams have played or had a chance to be in the competition, right? It made my teeth itch. In it, yeah. I heard someone say on a podcast this morning jokingly whilst referring to it, and they were like, oh yeah, the round of 46. Oh, what? No. We're in the round of 18 here, in the Polish top flight here. Furthest they've got in the Champions League. So we've had a few round of 16 appearances. And I think there was maybe a quarter... No, it was round of 16. We tend to get one per year, tends to get quite close to the round of 16. From next year onwards, for the last few seasons of the save, essentially, it's likely to be more common because we will have extra teams in Europe again. As far as the Champions League, we'll have 3 extra teams as well as us. Whereas the last couple of years, it's been 2. So it's just statistically, we've got a chance for hitting it. But if you recall last stream, we threw the cup final to Jagiellonia to make sure they get Europe because we were looking at the likes of these guys potentially being in that European spot or other shit teams. In the end, all we succeeded in doing was taking the European place away from Radomiak, who was the one team I really wanted to get into Europe. So that's fun. In addition, Radomiak also sacked their manager. So Manuela Zinsberger is no longer even in charge of Radomiak after all the good work she's done. Which makes me sad, particularly as their new coach is going to have an absolute war chest to spend as well when they do eventually arrive. I had a little look at some of the rumoured coaches because there was 4 sackings at the end of the season. And none of them are anyone interesting, unfortunately. They all came through on the exact same day, basically. So for us next season in the Champions League, Arka, Brookbet and Vichista, that's not the end of the world. This worries me to death. Ruk Horzhov, that is concerning. Although they've done all right this year, mostly because of one good player. Legia back in Europe, I guess, is fine. And they will be in the Conference League too, which isn't the end of the world. But no Radomiak in Europe, no Lechia, no Corona. It's a problem. Round of 16, the 8th final. Oh no, it's like first runner-up and second runner-up and all that nonsense. Proper beauty pageant stuff. Reconsider taking on RB. No, I wouldn't. Basically just because they're already a top flight side, right? As far as I know. Or have they fallen off? It's these guys here, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not really any... They are one of the teams that we will likely have to rely on later in the save due to their existing reputation. So... Are they not top flight? Maybe they can promote it in this save. We're second tier, really? Even so, I feel like they're more established, and ultimately, the crucial thing, and that's not even the real reason, the real reason is, unfortunately, you don't have a swan on your badge. Now, potentially, Veggie, were you to petition the club and go on better and maybe get them to change their entire club to maybe play in blue, perhaps have a goose on the badge, then I 100% would reconsider. I promise you that. That I can... You have my word on that. All the lads are just having the turn. Oh, isn't it? It's so stupid. The fact that you can't even see anything about their league history. Just tell me what league they've been in at least. Because clearly that is supposedly happening in the background. I mean, technically it isn't. Speaking of, you want an example of why view only sucks ass? Let me show you the Premier League. Can anyone spot why view only, where essentially the only teams that make any proper transfers are teams that are in Europe, might be a slight problem and might actually be worse than not having it on view only? I'll wait for a moment. Because you do end up with a very surprisingly odd situation here, which has been somewhat exacerbated over the last couple of seasons, but has been progressively getting worse. And that is the fact that the top 10 are separated from the bottom 10 by 17 points. 11th and 10th, Everton are closer to being relegated than they are to the team directly ahead of them. Like, this is true, Felix, but even so, right? That was towards the end of the video, which shows you got that far. I appreciate that. Then again, it was out quite early today. I put the recap out at like 7:30 this morning because I had to get up super early to get out for this 8-mile run today. Also, I came back and I was collecting some comments from the recap video and for the VODs, expecting... I'm a pretty much pessimistic person, particularly at this stage in the game cycle, so I was like, oh, you know, it'll be a 10 out of 10. Fucking 1 out of 10 video. What? I guess maybe Will's just killed it with the thumbnail, because he has, to be fair. It's an absolute banger. Role going place, cannot make any loans until January. Hang on, that could be your role going place, and you cannot make any loans in January. This point in time, hang on. Forgive me, I'm being a moron again, but whose role and who can't make loans in January? 1 out of 10 videos. So basically, hang on, I'll show you what I mean. Basically, when you put it, as a YouTuber on the content side of things, when you, oh, that's not very good quality. Ah! Just accidentally played a video of some geese. It's never really an accident. Basically, when you publish a video as a YouTuber, after an hour, it gives you like this metrics thing that basically does like a breakdown of how it compared to the most recent uploads of the same period of time. So you can see here, this is what I sent this to Pog. Meant to be rule. Which rule though? So I'm really, really confused. Which rule are we referring to? I do have a habit of thinking of things and then forgetting them immediately, so forgive me if I'm being obtuse. I'm not doing it on purpose. So yeah, basically, it compares it, and I randomly checked it. It was just like doing surprisingly well, so we take that. It's nice to see anything happen like that this time of year, frankly. I've still got it, I guess. Mostly just because Will made a really good thumbnail, to be fair. Which he did at a campsite Wi-Fi, which was quite impressive too. Which is why it's a bit more simplistic. So yeah, the Premier League is basically just... We're probably not going to bother with view-only leagues next year, I feel like, because this happens. Or we just go straight on playable. I'd be tempted with playable, potentially, for next year, with some leagues instead. From the beginning, I ain't risking any Spanish Scourge bullshit, but I would be more tempted to do some playable stuff instead. That way we get a bit more variation as far as the English leagues and the Spanish leagues and stuff, and actual stuff. And it might make it a bit easier as far as us making transfers, both in and out, as well as for the Danish sides, in theory. That's my hope, at least. So there's that. In other news, top 5 probably, maybe Portugal and the Netherlands as well. When I do my inevitable database setup video that I always do at the start, I'll probably run the tests, so I'll have the data for it as well. Chance of lower league teams. Actually, I know, I think it'd be more fascinating, frankly. And they have definitely improved the way that processing works when you've got playable league. Right. Suggested new Premier League rule for no signings, loans in January. Problematic for Team Fulham. Hang on. A rule for no signings, loans in January. So you can't sign loans in January. But I'm struggling to understand why that would be specifically affecting Fulham. We don't have any loans currently. I mean, a couple of outs, I suppose. So that's why I was very confused as to what we were referring to specifically, I guess. I don't know what rule this is, nor why it would specifically apply to Fulham. We have a few loan outs, I suppose, youngsters at least. The club for next year is HB Kyrgyz. I'll just quickly show you. Sorry to disappoint you, Veggie. But you get on that, you never know, it could change. It's these lads here, of the Danish second tier. Side dropping, yes it does, exactly. In and out loans. So you couldn't make loans in January. But again, I'm still struggling to understand how that pertains specifically to Fulham. Like, are we famous for doing loads of loans? I don't know, seems like an odd one. But regardless, first I've heard about that, so if anyone has any more information about that, I'm curious to hear it. So yeah, these are the lads for the HB, for the save next one. For the save next one? Right, hang on, I'll have a sip of drink. As an example, but... Okay. I will take your word for it, my friend. I just don't quite understand the thread and the context here, but I'm sure we'll circle back to it, no doubt. Yeah, so these are the lads for next year's save, basically, because they have a swan on their badge. I'd already decided on Denmark, but I was really stuck for a team. We were literally just scrolling through the Danish clubs in the top 2 divisions, and I saw these guys and went, yeah, you know what they'll do. They will do. They have some quite nice kits as well, which is kind of sick. And their women's team kind of goated. So that's kind of nice too. Which means it's a nice little facet for Sven's mates to inevitably take them guys over, them ladies over as well. Right, let's get a little look at this Chap Malama. There's a play called Joy Hemp there. Sadly, no Chap Malamas. Yeah, they nearly got relegated this year from what I heard, but they didn't. And I'd have been fine if they did, honestly, because I wouldn't have mind starting in the third tier. It would have made a nice little rise up as it goes. But them being a second tier club is kind of about perfect, to be fair. Hang on, isn't that guy the one that plays for Saba? Timotheus Puhats. Oh, sorry, hang on, was it? It's Puhac, isn't it? It's a good name. Timotheus. Sorry, forgive me a minute. He's got the extra. He's like super Polish. No, unfortunately not. He's not in my database anymore. He likely has retired. Yeah, there's going to be a tough one, David, because I will end up saying, forgive me in advance, Danes, because I will end up saying a lot of Danish words and names and places as if I'm speaking with a Norwegian or Swedish accent, unfortunately, because it's how I learned to say a lot of those words is with that kind of intonation, essentially. Average staying in the middle Premier. Okay. I mean, that's fine and all, but I'm still not sure I understand why that's stupidly relevant. Like, as far as I know, Fulham have not really done a huge amount of loans over the last few years, or certainly no more than any other club, and most clubs in the middle of the Premier League table, I don't know. Danes can't even speak Danish. That's how you know it's a good language. Vote against ban on loan deals between associated clubs. Okay, so this looks like it's... And that's from 3 years ago. Maybe this is like... Maybe we're hallucinating as a group. We're participating in a sort of a folie à deux together. That's right, you didn't think you'd hear that today, but you have now. And not just the Fall Out Boy album. I think that was a Fall Out Boy album, right? Anyway, before I go any further... Oh, shit, didn't mean to do that. I will give you an idea of what we're looking for lineup today, because, I mean, let's be honest, the lineup is going to be probably whoever played against Chelsea, because we're very good. And unfortunately, no on that one as well. No longer allowed to loan out a player to another Premier League club if you sign them in the same window. That kind of makes sense. So it stops the sort of sign and loan type beat. Sounds like a very specific thing that's targeted at a specific blue type of some could say. Who, not this guy. I couldn't possibly cast aspersions in that sense, but I mean, my bigger worry was that I thought it was an implication that it was going to be some FIFA rule where you couldn't sign loanies in January, because imagine what that would do to the loan farm in this save. We'd be cooked, friends. Absolutely cooked. So, today, in case you missed it in the recap, these are the results of the other ones. Inter beat Southampton in the Europa League final, which is always fun. And Newcastle lost to Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa Conference League final, which is good because it means less points for England. Newcastle also scored 47 goals in the Conference League. Yeah, City have signed him. I think it went through officially. I think it was 81 million with clauses that could take it to 85, which I think is a record for a teenager in the Premier League. I don't know about worldwide, but incredible. I'll be honest with you, Mushroom Man, I was never the biggest Fall Out Boy fan in the first place. I just remember that album name and being like, ooh, that's a fancy word. So, this is the one. This is the one. I mean, you'll note as well, everybody's available. This is possibly the first time... I say everyone's available. Everyone's available apart from the players that are not available. But the only injury we have in our entire first team squad is Manuel Hansen. From Monaco to PSG, yeah, I suppose he was. But I think it's in terms of Premier League, at least. Where's Jackson moving to, or was he on loan before and now this is just completing the transfer? I didn't have that one in my notes. I saw the Nico Gonzalez one. I saw Baleba had officially signed for United, I think, for like, was it 60 something million? 80 million for Bawali is a lot of money. But I mean, cut to a year from now and he's signing for Atletico or something for £60 million. I was like, I mean, tell me I'm wrong, David. Tell me I am wrong. But that means we've got pretty much everybody at our disposal that we could possibly want for this game, which is absolutely fucking fantastic. And it would be kind of silly for us to really change anything of what actually got us here in the first place, because as far as I know, this is the lineup that played against Chelsea, right? Still able to complete that deal, to be honest. What the Gonzalez one? I think, I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough about Nico Gonzalez to know. I mean, did he make a profit on that deal as well?
My quest to beat every trophy in Vanilla FM 26 ends at 323 401 trophies. It started around 2 seasons ago that every youth player coming through lookalikes grained out players with I think repurposed IDs with no age or nationality. This is what squads look like 12 years after it started.
Holy shit. I know a person that would be very interested in seeing this. Can anyone guess who? That's bizarre. So what season is this in now? Forgive me, I'm trying to... Oh, so 2,218 there, so you're probably like, what, a year before that, maybe? That's wild. It's almost like FM is not designed for this, but should be. And frankly, we finally found the edge. Like, it's like a flat earther actually found the edge of the earth and then fell off of it. Well done. Bravo, that's incredible. You believed and you were right on this one. Holy shit, that is insanely good. The fact that Chelsea have sold a lap for profit to me is just... It's wild that that's even possible. Didn't he score 1 goal for them last season? It might have even been against Fulham now, I think about it. Oh, that was when he was at Ipswich still. 2002... Oh, really? Wow. So it was like... Yeah, I suppose they were 3-year contracts, weren't they? Yeah, I'll do a prediction for the final as well. Why not, right? Start a prediction. We just scroll back through all the will he mess up the intros, because there's bound to be a... Oh, no, we can't. I'm going to have to do a new one. Look at me go. Oh, there we go. Will we win the Champions League final? That's nice and easy to answer. I like that my options are yes, no, and Lech Poznan for some reason. I mean, since Twitch is offering me the option to have Lech Poznan as the third option, I guess I'll do that.
Morning, lad. Been
just know that if you do predict Lech Poznan, you are likely to lose.
Winning it all and Fulham are coming second. Best attack in the league, mate. Gonzalo Garcia looks good for you and Josh King is a dork. Cheers. Let's beat Madrid today.
All in on Lech Poznan, in it. Oh, that reminds me. I mentioned in the intro, thank you very much for the 47 months as well, U-shaped sofa. I'm still looking at getting a potential U-shaped sofa as an option. So we haven't got to the final yet. What do you mean? Hang on, I'm trying to point the right direction. Why can I not point the right way? Hang on. There we go. Final. This is the final. We are at the final. We got there last stream. We won the semi 11-0. 150 million. If he does, I mean, fair play, that's a lot of money. I just really hope that he'd learn from the match itself. Again, this is the tactic screen for the match itself. I really hope that Josh King learns from the fact that so many players have left Fulham too early. There's a literal graveyard of careers of players that have done that exact thing way too easily. And they've gone on to be okay, but some of them haven't gone on to be okay. Like Fabio Carvalho, does he even play for Brentford anymore? Harvey Elliott to a lesser extent, I suppose, but like Patrick Roberts as well. All these players that, if they'd just given it a bit more time, might have been able to just... When they do make that move, when they're ready and they're able to be that elite talent they could be. It does also help, I think, with... And Sessegnon as well, to an extent. Admittedly, he's now back in our bosom. But with Josh King... Also, the reason I'm stalling right now is to make sure the prediction finishes before we go into the game. I accidentally hit it for 2 minutes instead of 1. He does come from a Fulham supporting family. I'm not saying he's going to be like a kiss the badge kind of, X, Y, and Z player, but I would like to see... I think he could get an England cap while still wearing a Fulham shirt. Become an option, because apparently Twitch decided it could become an option. Haven't gotten to the start of the final yet. Okay. Sure? That's true. I believe when you go to vote next time at your local election, the options should be all of the things you'd expect, and at the bottom, Lech Poznan. Just Poznaning your way through the voting booths. I'm here for it. Josh King, I mean, maybe. I'd really like, actually. That'd be sick. Right. I'm in an alternate dimension here, my friend. I don't know what's going on. Let me throw in this. So, just to clarify, we are not in the match. We are on the day of the match, about to go into the match. I can narrate further, but I feel like I might become a bit grating at that point. So, right. I just want to go with this, frankly. I've already set it up for full match, so we should be good to go. And we can plan the substitutes once we get into the game. 100 million on 2 strikers. I mean, that's how they keep managing to do it, right? Get this up now. It does come across as a bit odd at times. Redemption insta-capture despite Fulham losing was weird. I think what he's referring to redemption is the disallowed goal from last season at Stamford Bridge. The one that was wrongly disallowed, which would have been his first goal in the Premier League. So I think probably that's what he's referring to. And ultimately, I feel like you can still... And the way this was perceived, at least from my end, things... A win or a defeat or whatever doesn't necessarily mean things are good or bad per se in the long run. Like, you can lose a game and still have a good performance and feel like there's a positives to take from it, as well as the series and the season rather. And I feel like that's kind of what that Chelsea game was. I certainly did in Godot. I nearly did. I very nearly did. Lech Poznan. Yeah, you got. What I would say is you wouldn't want Lech Poznan at the bottom of the ballot. They'd have to be sort of in the middle just to really mess with people. Like just like scrolling down Labour, Lib Dem, Lech Poznan. Wait, what? I want that. I want to live in that universe. Random Polish dude in Britain. Hey, Poland. There's quite a large Polish diaspora in Britain. My parents' next door neighbour, his wife is Polish. Just get them right in there. Because then you've got the potential chance for like an accidental vote or two for Lech Poznan. And not to mention the millions of legitimate votes they'd get, of course. Bim versus Lech Poznan, he'd have no chance. Absolutely mugged off by Lech Poznan. Look at the actual stats out there as well. There we go. It can't be worse than the Radomiak final from last year. There's simply no chance. That will simply not happen. Cut to that happening. Oh, God, the link up we've got these days. He's going all the way through here already. Go on, Shank. Oh, yeah, sure. Who needs to do that? And more for the Lech Poznan party. There you go. 2-2-10. That might be a tough one. Even if I was to sim it, I don't think I'd have enough time in order to sim it that long, considering even for like the looking forward stream that we like to do. Oh, hang on. Anwar's. Oh, it's already a penalty. It's already a penalty. Literally inside a minute, Anwar Naeem's already won us a pen. Oh, my guy. I think what's going to be good about watching this final too is with our new tactical setup, we've watched it in matches, obviously, but mostly on key highlights. Watching it for a full 90, I think, is going to give us a really good idea about how this breaks down and what is actually making it work. Oh, believe me, I wished it was Atletico in the final. Momperoo scores the easy penalty. Come on. Also, Naeem needs one more assist, which sadly he won't get. He'll get an FPL assist. He needs one more assist for the record. He's got 24 this season. His record is also 24 in a single season, which he got like quite a while ago, back when we used to play a different system. I thought he Penenco'd that for a minute. If we win. Oh, yeah. Well, it depends if you vote for Lech Poznan. If you vote for Lech Poznan, then unfortunately on this particular occasion, I cannot honour those points. You were warned. Also, just a reminder, today's stream finishes at 2 because the only time I could get a haircut was 3:45 today. So it means I have to get off a little earlier today. Volleys, I will do my very best to get the VOD uploaded properly and everything and ready to go, so I don't have to do it when I come back. So hopefully it won't be delayed. If it is, then that is the reason why, because I would have had to have gone out before I could have actually uploaded it. Hopefully my internet holds up though, and we don't get that weird issue. Naeem is just going to be he's just a machine, isn't he? They would well win. However, you can only, as far as I know with Twitch polls like that, you can only select one correct answer. I don't make the rules. But I do in this case, but it's not my fault. Gonzalez and Lewis Miley. See, I think, obviously Miley's been around for a while, but I kind of feel like this is going to be a huge season for him. I'm surprised he's not got booking, but my brain goes, it's because it's early in the game. Except, of course, not that matters in effort. That would be a thing I'd like to see for 27. More context around bookings and stuff. Because it does feel like sometimes the game doesn't really understand when situations should be bookings and when they shouldn't be. Just in general, for me. The amount of fouls you see sometimes that you just never get bookings for in certain positions where you would always get one in real life. But I guess that would be quite difficult unless they had specific zones on the pitch. God, I tell you what, the press from Naeem today, he's unreal. He's done another one. Real Madrid's plan is kick. There we go. Prada with the yellow card. Good. Handbags at dawn. That's 3 free kicks that Naima's already won in the first 5 minutes of this match. Oh, we're going short, are we? Going to win another one? Go on. Jersey has loads of space. Oh, this is good. Pause and channel points if we win. I don't think it's actually possible to refund them like that. My hair is being cut short. Exactly. I needed to get it sorted before the Slough game. Go full Holland. No. I have found a nice sort of middle ground with my hair now that I can actually work with, and that's what I'm going to be heading back to, because I just... Oh, I defected one again. It's nice. Exactly, Veggie. That's the thing. It's a trade-off. Like, you get the crazy stories from Emma, so I feel like it's a fair trade at that point. We actually have started this game just like the Chelsea game. Slough is going to be great fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And obviously it will be streamed as well on Callum's channel. Let me just get the shout out for him actually while we're here. How do I do this? I've always forgotten. And, oh, not username. I nearly wrote Y Cackham. That's ingrained in my brain. There we go. Yeah. But so if you want to watch the game and you obviously aren't going to be able to come down to the match, then you can follow Callum's channel, who I've just shouted out in chat there, and the game will be streamed live on his channel with commentary and everything as well, which is so sick. I think, who's doing the commentary this year? Is it Steak? Actually, I think he did last year as well, or is it Steak? Or is Steak one of the managers this year? I actually forget who's doing the commentary this year. Oh, it's Llama! Of course it is! That's even better. That's so cool. Shout out my Llama, who fell off the shelf. It will be... I think it's 11 a.m. It's... Yeah, actually, is anyone else... I know Mushrooms... I know some of you guys are going to Slough. Is anyone else going? I'm curious, because it's going to be really fun. I'm going down tomorrow evening. Pog and I have got ourselves a travel lodge, you know. But yeah, 11 a.m. Oh, hang on. Oh, and again. Yeah, it's 11 a.m. Till, I guess, whenever it finishes, right? That's how football works. Plus, also, if you are there, you get entry to the Slough game afterwards as well, which is really cool. And I'm hoping that I am not as bad as I was last year. I'm fitter than I was last year, so there's that. I'm able to concentrate more than last year, so there's that. We'll see. I'll still be absolutely appalling, don't get me wrong. But maybe I'll actually put a little bit more front foot. I'm older than last year, but I'm wiser than last year too, you know. It's little column A, little column B. What's so happy? Oh yeah, I forgot Monique's coming over. On the Eurostar, no less, I heard. Who is the best YouTuber who is the best at football and not the best at the Game FM? Hang on, sorry, that's a very long question. I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Who's good at... FM YouTubers that are good at football? I mean, Clates is really good at football. Zims is really good at football. Oh, who else? See, I haven't played football with enough of them to know, but I know that Clates is really good. When he's not being injured, he's really good. Although Zim's got injured in the game last time as well. Wolfie's really good. Wolfie's playing this one too. He has an international cap. There you go. Never played football with Z. I can only speak to... Yeah, Callum's really good too. Basically, what you need to know is everyone's better than me, generally speaking. Mike as well. Able to beat the hoarding. I mean, maybe this year he can beat the hoarding. I'm kind of hoping that Clates, being the shithouse that he is, rocks up with one of those like Zorro-style facial protection masks. I feel like that has to happen. Luke quite good. I don't know, actually. I've never played football with Luke, I don't think. To be fair, I've only ever played in one charity match, which was last year, in fairness. So it's basically the only experience of football with the other YouTubers I have is from last season. Oh, God, the space we're getting into here. We're not getting a lot of the ball, and yet, who cares, right? We're just sat there defending nicely. I think that's the difference. Like, we definitely don't hang on to quite as much possession now. Or do we, actually? I think it depends on the tactic they're playing. Obviously, they're trying to be more aggressive in the press to win the ball back off of us, but... Oh, it's Gomez again. On the wrong foot this time, but that's okay. Cuts back inside. We've got bodies in there. Oh, go on, Jersey. Have a shot, buddy. You know you want to. NFL helmet. Full-on pads and everything. Enterprise National League, North or South? Ooh, okay, National League North and South. I don't know, actually. Like, because my other save is lower than that, currently. A guy can dream, right? I'm trying to think of teams that are down at that kind of level. Taunton at that level? Slough are actually at that level, too. Aren't Salisbury... I feel like for some reason Salisbury, I thought they were in the division below that. I thought they were step 3, but maybe that kind of varies. Not that great at football. Oh, that would be me. Well, I say good at FM. I know you're right. I can't fill that category either. I'm the guy who's average as fuck at FM, but even worse at football. And someone has to be. Anwar's in again. Go on, lad. Dive in on him. I dare you. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's going to win this game by himself at this rate, frankly. Every single good thing that's going on in this match is coming through Anwar Naeem. It's actually insane how much Real Madrid cannot handle him. And the best part is, their winger's already on a booking. Their left back should also be on a booking. I will be amazed if he doesn't get one of their wingers sent off in this game by just running past them relentlessly and taunting them the entire time. And that's straight out of play. What? Okay, I thought that had gone out of play, personally. Market Harbour Town, of course, yes. The game actually had played in that. We do full game for finals, yeah. On the base game. Ah, I see. I suppose you could do the thing where, what's it called? The Diffuse Challenge, where you, like, play a season and then there's a couple of teams that get promoted from that division and you take over one of those. If they have the right rep and you run it a few times, you might be able to get them up there without having to use extended databases. Oh, shit. Good save, Cater. Go on, lad. Use the current tactic on Saturday. I'm not sure who would play where in this system because I feel like I'd end up somehow playing as a right wing back, and I've just realised that's where Naeem plays, and I don't think myself and Anwar Naeem are quite on the same level. Like, I've got jokes, he's got all the ability, and I think I know which one I'd rather have. No, I'm actually a right back, not a left back. I just always end up playing. Oh, go on, Christian. Have a no, Christian. That was silly. Wait a minute. Nope. Turns out it's 7,000 IQ. Never mind. I thought that was another penalty then. I always end up at left back in games, and it's annoying because I'm not a left back. I'm horrendously right-footed. Rainy Race New Hampshire. I thought it was pretty sick, actually. In the sense that I was disappointed when it started getting dry, because when I saw SVG out in front leading laps, presumably because of the rain ability, and then once it started drying up, I was like, no. I still think he's going to be okay, though. 31-point cushion. I was just more gutted. I'll be honest with you. I turned the race off after Ross went out. As soon as I saw the drivetrain issues, I was just like, well, that's my season over. I'm not interested anymore. I'm not entirely sure I am, because I still want SVG to do really well, but I've lost a little bit of interest, shall we say. Once he was out, I was like, Get the unlock. Oh yeah, I've got all the laps. Except for Liam Delap, of course. It seems like Real Madrid are playing extremely aggressive. I mean, they're kind of doing what we do. It's just that... Wait, I thought it was offside then. My favourite. The one thing I will say is that I'm usually pretty good at, like... When I'm properly taking it, not seriously, but actually paying attention enough to where I'm, like, head in the game type of thing, I can usually suss out my opponent defensively quite quickly. You know, as soon as you figure out what foot they are, you can just give them space to be on the other foot, and it usually does, particularly at, like, crap level, which is obviously any level I play at. That's usually quite useful as well. But it will all come down to, if we're 15 minutes in and I've been kicked the shit out of again, I will simply go back to what I did last time, which is just having a nice time, because I'm not about to get injured for it, you know? It's charity stuff. I don't want to be getting hurt. I've got other things that I need to make sure I'm not hurt for, like the YouTube thing, right? I can't afford to be injured for that. Asking Bubba advice and then pulling off 5 seconds of people's funny. Hey, maybe he took the advice. Maybe Bubba just can't apply the advice. He knows what to do. He just can't do it. I feel that. Oh, Monpa, go on, have a shot. No! Okay, we have overplayed it a few times there. These are running games. I hope he does get a run of games. And in theory, with some of the sales that Newcastle have made, there will be more space for him this season. And I'd like to see what he can do when given a chance, basically, like properly as a run in the team. What is that? Sean Sturr is one I'm very intrigued by. Oh, that's not good. That is actually really bad. Because the problem, the way that we work really well defensively now is that before, when we'd lose the ball in those situations, without our central centre-back, our centre-backs would be dragged so wide to try and cover it, and it would put so much pressure on our wing-backs to try and get back. Now, okay, he's managed to get back this time, but it allows the wider centre-backs to cover across a little bit more, put them under a bit more pressure while our wingers get back a little bit more, and it just seems to work so much better defensively now. I'm going to die for the 3 points. Well, that's the problem, Wisła Farmer. That's kind of what happened a little bit last time, was a little bit too much of that kind of stuff, where, oh, well played, Manor. Where at first I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. We'll play not a good level, but I'll be trying really hard and just trying to make it fun, basically. But then I got a few left in on me, and I thought, right, I had a half marathon like a week later that I was doing, and obviously I was not about to try and get hurt for that, because that would be silly. So I just kind of dialed it right back after that and didn't make as many runs forwards, didn't quite get in as much, basically. And it will be the same for me this year. I'll try again from the beginning, and if it happens again, I will simply just pull off again, because I don't have the patience for that kind of thing, you know? It's what I think why a lot of people stop for things like Sunday League, because you do just get that kind of stuff, and I just have no patience for it, unfortunately. Oh, if there was a return ball there. Some of this interchanges on the edge of the box is absolutely lethal at times. It just takes one of these to come off, and I'm now starting to see why we score the goals that we do, because these are all the passing plays that aren't working out for us, but we're also so close to them actually coming off every single time, basically. 10 years ago, I see clips online trying to snap. Exactly. I constantly see those clips, and I'm just thinking to myself, people have got work on Monday. Why are people doing that? And is that just because it's an excuse so they can be violent, right? And I'm just like, why would anyone want that? And it might be part of the reason why England struggle overall in places, because that's part of the footballing culture in places, and I don't think it's necessary, right? It discourages actual fun play, and people having a good time playing a sport after all. Alaz! Thank you for the 6 months, my friend. How are you on this terrible-looking Thursday? Hopefully it's nicer where you are, right? Like on Trackhouse wasn't my bigger... Yeah, I'm wondering if Trackhouse's plan is possibly going to be switching to a new OEM, if there is a new OEM, potentially. Because I know that they've got not extra charters for a new OEM, and then they do actually, but obviously Trackhouse wouldn't need those. But I wonder if they could be like a tier 1 with a new OEM, take a hit for a bit, and then make that be the next step. We're so close to winning penalties over and over again here. It weirdly feels like we're camped in Real Madrid's half most of this game so far, and yet somehow we have less possession than them. I guess it's just because they are actually being a bit more patient with it. Oh, I'd be a terrible manager and a terrible footballer. That's why I played the computer game version instead. Turns to Frankie, I mean, you know how much I love Frankie de Jong. He's my guy. That's a high praise. It's the sort of thing that the game would say. You know when you've got a random youth player and the game's like, could be better than, and it's just this random dude. Does anyone remember when the game used to say that on players' profiles, but not always about players on your team? So I don't know if this is a thing that is even in 26. I'm guessing it's not, because I've never noticed it. Maybe it is, and they've just hidden it, like most things in 26. Where you'd have... So you'd go on a player's profile, and it would say, indeed, could be the next, and it would have the name of either a current player or a former player. As Gomez's shot is well saved by the goalkeeper again. We're in at will here. But I don't think that's here anymore, is it? The best you get is that report in your inbox about player development that says, you know, this guy has high potential and could be better than another guy in your squad. But it would be nice if they could bring that back. It was always fun to say, you know, you get a striker and it says, oh, it could be the next Michael Owen. We'd sometimes do scouting based on that. Well, not scouting, but like you'd look at a player and if he had that, it would suddenly make that player a little bit more intriguing. Same thing about Stuart. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Newcastle fan, so I haven't really got a huge finger on the pulse of what Newcastle fans are saying. I barely have a finger on the pulse of what Fulham fans are saying most of the time, right? We're very quiet. Other than the... I find it actually crazy that we've gotten this far and never actually spoken about the up the Fulham thing. If you know, you know. But I do like the fact that that's become a meme. And it's something we've never mentioned on stream. But it is... It's quality, is what it is. Oh, hang on, he's in again. Naeem's in again. Naeem's in again. He's at the post. Goodness me. Is this still in the game? Oh, if anyone's got an example they could show me, I'd be really curious. Japhet Tanganga with the next Sol Campbell. And there's still time. Who does Japhet Tanganga play for these days? Did I see him playing? For some reason, he strikes me as a Leyton Orient player, and I have no idea why. Yeah, the next gen list, it used to have a bit more context. That's where we got my most successful TikTok from, the random player that was described as the Turkish delict. That shit is perfect. Was it Millwall? Oh, okay, Sheffield United. Fair enough. Apparent total shit show. It's weird, I was listening to a podcast earlier talking about the IndyCar thing. It was, to be fair, he was interviewing the head of Penske. So, probably a little bit biased talking about the event, but apparently it got really good TV numbers for IndyCar. I think the number I heard was that it was like 3.7 million average viewers, and it got more... Oh my god, he's... Wait, surely! Yes! He's offside, isn't he? He's fucking offside. Why didn't he leave it? His teammate is right there. I think Gomez is offside. Al Shankiti wouldn't have been offside, but Gomez certainly was. I think. Yeah. Oh, you silly boy. Exclamation mark tactics. There's a little pack of them you can get. It's a great pass over the top, though. Look at this. I mean, he's miles offside, because obviously the keeper is where the... Watch them draw the line from there. All Al Shankiti has to do is... to be fair, it's Al Shankiti's fault for passing that, actually. I don't know why he doesn't just shoot that. That was a great chance as well. But as much as the Super... I know, but it was apparently the biggest, like, average viewership for an Indy race that wasn't the Indy 500 since the reformation of IndyCar, essentially, which I think was 2008 or something. So I suppose that's healthy for the sport, I guess. Not that I've ever been hugely into it. God, I love the fact that we don't always dribble quite as much now, because it allows us to find passes like that way more frequently. It's interesting to see racing series. I mean, I think it actually had more viewers than any F1 race has ever had in America, with American viewership at least, which is surprising. I thought that, what the hell are they doing? I think Real Madrid are genuinely just trying to get a handle on this now. They failed to do so. A I can't remember the last time I actually watched the Indy 500 either, but that's usually just because I'm usually just busy when it's on for whatever reason. Gomez might be on a 6.5 in this game, but I'm now starting to understand that I need to be less judgy when he does put those kind of results up, because he's done so much running in this first half, and he's not really getting rewarded for it match engine-wise in terms of his rating. But he's relentlessly taking on Real Madrid players left and right,
Matt,
and he's doing it again.
Can you talk a little faster? I've gotten quite used to VODs on 1.5x speed.
You absolute masochist. Oh, go on. Wait 1 second. Go on. Never mind. BLS, thank you very much, though, for the 25 months. I can try to talk a little bit faster. I would have to go and take a second pill, though, and I don't know if that's entirely healthy for me at this stage. Heart rate's already... heart rate's all right, actually. I had a resting heart rate of 46 last night. I was pretty pleased with that. MotoGP. I've never been into the superbike type of stuff. I mostly just see... Mostly every time I see stuff to do with like MotoGP and stuff is usually a video of an accident, unfortunately. That's usually where it tends to be, comes across my desk, I suppose, right? I do watch a lot of stuff at 2x, oh, he's in again. Oh, Real Madrid's high line is going to be the death of them in this game, providing we get a second goal. It is a little concerning that we haven't actually managed to get it yet, but I think as things wear on, nobody's really playing badly. I know Gomez's rating suggests that, but he isn't, is he? Like, just objectively, he's passing the eye test with flying colours. Oh, slide him in. No! Like, and we've got so many good options off the bench if we need to. Diabate can come in. We've got Olafumi John. We've got Sharpek that can come in as well. There's just so many options in this team now. It's great. We should just be able to manage this. I feel like I was speaking quite fast in the YouTube video yesterday. Every time I record, I'm like, right, this one we're going to try and get the time down a little bit. That way it's a quicker edit and also a slightly shorter video to cover it. And then it always ends up being around about the same length of time no matter what I do. It's like that rule. I can't remember what the law is called. It's like work expands to fill the time you have to do it or something. You will have one of those like Hanlon's razor, Occam's razor, Murphy's law type names. There is a name for it. But that happens to me so much it's actually... They're doing it again! Real Madrid are all over. Parkinson's law. There you go. Or is it? Yeah. Change the AI to allow them to move lines on the fly when it's necessary. Move lines. What do you mean by move lines on the fly? Like, I mean, obviously the AI do change tactics, but it's usually about game state more than like specific things. Rule 34, ooh, maybe. That's something else is where it expands to fill the time it has to do. That's a very different thing. Even that follow. Yeah, I think it's one of those events that I'd probably enjoy more if I was there in person. Like if I was at some other event and it was like a support race or something with bikes. It'd be cool if the touring cars had like a support race that was like some kind of motorcycles. That'd be sick. Or even truck racing. That I do find incredibly funny. Not funny, but like it's like seeing kids in leather jackets. It just doesn't look right, but at the same time you're like, that's fascinating, right? Highline midlock. They can do that. Yeah. Oh, nice one, Justin. Let me load Discord. The AI can change the tactics around. It's just that they tend not to a lot of the time. But they will have multiple different things they can revert to. Or truck racing live. I've never watched any truck racing as such. I've seen it enough to be like, that's really kind of cool, you know? Let's see. Oh, you're right. I'll be damned. They've done it in a really weird way, but you're absolutely right. Look at this chat. Expectations are high on Byfield has been widely tipped in the midfield to be the next Billy Wright. Obviously, I have no idea who Billy Wright is in this context, but so is this actually on his profile in some manner, or is it just you see it that one time? Because that's fascinating. I'd never noticed. Another one of the sort of flaws of 26 is that things that are good are hidden, I suppose, and less noticeable than perhaps they should be. Just on the loan report. That's so strange. Rockingham was awesome. I went to the last ever... I think it was the last ever race, actually, at Rockingham before they sort of shut it down. It might be coming back, I heard, actually. But it was just so cool to be able to sit up there and see the entire track from one spot. And we had cover when it inevitably pissed it down, because of course we did. Parking was good too, because it was just in the middle of nowhere. Speedway. So yeah, there used to be... Where my hairdresser, actually, where she used to live, they have quite a big speedway thing for some reason, even though it's not a large place. They've actually got quite a motorsport history there in general. I believe it's where Lewis Hamilton actually came up when he was doing karting stuff, was there as well. I have no idea who Billy Wright is either, but hey, he could be the next him, so you watch out. You're in the midst of greatness, my friend. The backyard. Yeah, it'd be nice to see them bring something like that back. We could always do with more racetracks. I think we should just have more racetracks exist. I need a local racetrack. To be fair, there's a lot of banger racing and sort of dirt stock car. Let's say stock car. Banger racing up towards King's Lynn. Every time I go up that way, I'm always seeing those almost the same kind of poster designs that you see for like circuses, but it's always like banger racing. It's dope. Dog racing course. No. Rockingham was a purpose-built track, specifically built to try to latch onto the incredible popularity at the time, at least, of NASCAR. This was when NASCAR was at its absolute peak. And so they wanted to try to expand into Europe, essentially. And the plan was the thing called ASCAR, which ran for a few years, but was never really able to be financially... So they did manage to get some quite big names in there, but it just never really took off in the end, basically. And as a result... And particularly with it being the only track that we had of that type, it was kind of tough. There was a couple of other tracks. I believe there's one in Germany as well. There's kind of like a big oval type thing. The A17. Oh, I hate the A17. Oh, no, the A16. That's my least favourite road ever. A16, I think, the one in Lincolnshire, I hate it so much. I've never been nearly crashed into so many times as I have on the A16 in Lincolnshire. They've bounced back very well. They bounced back immediately, actually. Upon losing the cup final, they immediately went out and won 6-0 in the second leg of the Champions League, and thus far have been, frankly, brilliant so far today against Real Madrid. Now, there's always the chance that Real Madrid do get the random goal, but Lautsitzring, that sounds like the right one. Great name, too. NASCAR race on the M5. Too much traffic, innit? Just too much traffic. I do like the idea of drafting on the M5, though. Plus, you could have a pit stop at Fleet Services. Now, hang on, suddenly you're winning me over far more than I anticipated here. So it's for DTM. I do like a bit of DTM. I think the thing with DTM that put me off a little bit is that I preferred BTCC just because the cars, albeit they don't really, were at least slightly closer to road cars in terms of their aesthetics and looks than the DTM ones were. Still pretty cool, though. I do miss the Super Touring age. The A16 is the only road I've ever been overtaken double wide. As in, it's a single carriageway, but two cars overtaking me at the same time. As in, someone's overtaking me and someone's overtaking them where there is only two lanes. Both with one... And I've had that happen multiple times. And I'm not a slow driver by any means. It was just the most bizarre behaviour I'd ever seen. Both Volvos, too. Scares you as a goalkeeper. Why? I think Cater's been... As far as goalkeepers go, I don't think we've had a better goalkeeper than Cater in terms of how he's actually performed. His numbers have been relatively good this season. And particularly once we switched over to this tactical style, he's definitely been able to make more saves. We've been facing more chances that he can seemingly do something about and playing to his strengths a little bit more. And having him rush... I think his rushing out tendency, as Hayden pointed out on the last stream, definitely does factor in. And trying to get that up could certainly help. I had to shotgun a quick sausage roll. The tires being changed. Yes! There you go. I mean, I don't know if I could eat an entire KFC during a tyre change. I mean, NASCAR pit stops do last a little while, but not quite that long. It doesn't take... I reckon a Greg sausage roll, if you really wolfed it down, you could get through that whilst you've got your 4 Goodyear tyres and a can of Sunoco fuel and such. Fleet Services. Oh, I love Fleet Services. But maybe that's because I don't live near Fleet Services. Every time I go down to Vikings, I'm always... stopping at Fleet Services because I like the KFC. It's as services go, I do enjoy it. Also quite a fan of rugby services too. That's quite nice too. Different trips. That's more of a Devon type trip. But I do like that. It's very fancy. You search for players on the search bar, click on them and it shows player staff attributes even though they aren't staff. No. Although we do appear to be regularly finding new bugs. Which is impressive actually this late in the game cycle. Considering how many hours I have in this. I feel like by now I would have seen most of particularly the weird niche use case bugs. Because I am the definition of a weird niche use case. That's really hard to say. A weird niche use case. But no, I haven't encountered that one yet. If Dick Trickle can have a smoke in the pist. There is a definite game out there which would be like 80s NASCAR driver or porn star. It's like my favourite game to play on motorways and long trips is artisanal coffee shop or horse box. Playing it from a distance is more difficult than you'd think. Over the top keeps... running out punch balls. I think there was a punch in this game so far, but he does have a tendency to punch, I think. And ultimately, I can't think of a single time when him punching it, so far this season at least, has led to us conceding a goal. And maybe him trying to catch it would have actually been worse. I'd rather have a keeper punch it clear and actually get some good connection than fail to catch it, because I noticed some of our previous keepers were a bit flappy. Stuck in the menu during a match. Yeah, we had that soft lock, if you recall. Actually, that wasn't during a match. That was during a highlight of a match that wasn't even my game. And that cost us an entire stream's worth. Oh, go on. Go on. No, big save. Steinbergen is doing cracking. Particularly now in a back three, he's got a bit more support around him. It's allowing him to flourish a bit more. Plus, he has absurd recovery pace. I think he's up to nearly 50 caps for the Netherlands, despite him only being 22. Alshan Katie has put it wide. Holy shit. Keep possession of the ball. Yeah, but you got to win possession of the ball first, right? If the goalkeeper doesn't have it, then you don't have... Well, if the other team's crossing it in, you don't have possession by default. So if my keeper comes and catches it and misses it, I still don't have possession of the ball and I'm a goal down. If he does punch it, I may still lose possession of the ball, but at least it's no longer as dangerous, right? Originally, when we started this save, I played a really high possession tactic because it was all about passing, and it was the deadest football I've ever watched. We'd have like 80% possession in almost every game, but no shots because nobody ever actually shot the ball. They just kept it, which is good for shutdown. I must admit, it's really good if you want to just shut a game down. Something I've started doing is turning off all the dribbling and stuff when I need to shut games down on my other save. But I think sometimes you can have too much possession in a way where you're not actually doing a lot with it, and if you play the ball around a lot with a lot of possession, you kind of let the other team get into a low block situation. Whereas I think one of the things that this tactic has worked really nicely with is the transitions. We let spaces occur and then we can play into those gaps rather than always trying to like force it through, which I think has definitely helped. And I think that's why we used to have so much junk XG before as well, because a lot of our chances came from forcing it, where it was, we'd have 30 shots in a game perhaps, but they were all low potential chances really. Whereas now we're getting into better positions like this from Nathan Allen. Oh, it cut it back inside. Oh, it's saved again. There was too many chances like that, basically, where it's, realistically, you might score one of them, but you're going to need quite a few to really get that through. Captain, now, I don't know what his leadership is like on Staney, actually. He's not the best leader. I could send him on a leadership course, but it's not an easy one because obviously Montperouse is our current captain. He only has 12 leadership. Who is our best leader, actually, out of interest? 12 for Kwasiopud. Mana feels like a leader. 17, that makes sense. Cabezas? Oh, no. This man is very much a follower. Kowalski. Oh, I was hoping Kowalski would have better leadership. No, I bet he does. Okay. Not that Montperouse is going anywhere anytime soon. Just thinking future. Alshan Keaty's okay. Gomez, I bet he's not a very good leader. Oh, he is. What about Keita? I bet he can lead. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Turns out he is still one of our better leaders, incredibly. Someone told Russell Martin this. No, let's let him find out by himself. He never will. Flashback and Nepal into. Oh god, yeah. I haven't seen that yet, but that does sound horrifying. You just don't want it, do you? I mean, like, what more can you say on about it, I suppose, right? 1,006-kilometer race. That seems like it would take a while. Is this by car or by foot? It's crazy that I even have to think about that, but some people do run some crazy distances. Like there was that backyard ultra where some dude ran like 400 miles, which is wild. Dick Hamo is also an actor and played the Marlboro Man who worked as a firefighter. You're right, that might be the most masculine man I've ever heard of. The runner-up in the manliest man name contest is Staff Sergeant Max Fightmaster. Ah, yes, of the Fightmaster dynasty. I know them very well. That must not be his real name. Surely at some point someone in his lineage has gone, do you know what, this will be funny. Just rocking up at Ellis Island being like, what's your name? And it's just Smith. And Fightmaster. You sure about that? Yeah. Honesty. No problem, bruv. Nice. Okay. Already did that. Now, one thing I promised earlier, I mentioned earlier that, for those of you that are unaware, I've been, I've got a little new hobby. Pog and I have been Topps flagship Premier League cards. The packs are quite Moorish, and I obviously have a pack saved for today. But yesterday I went to Tesco's to buy some broccoli, and you're in there for a specific task, but you have to walk past the magazine section in the intro to Tesco's, so while the intro music is still playing. And I thought to myself, well, I mean, I've come all this way. It'd be rude for me to not buy a pack while I'm here. So I get home, and I open that pack, and yeah, it's a numbered, I think it's bronze parallel, 1 of 250 Martin Odegaard. So just nice normal stuff. That's definitely the best pull I've managed to grab so far. It's not autographed or anything like that, but it is a numbered Martin Odegaard. That's cool. I like that a lot. But Oh, we've got a folder, all right. We actually have 2 folders because the base folder doesn't actually have enough space for the collection in it. So Pog bought a second binder that we can put the extra cards in addition, any extra parallels that we've got as well. So there's a couple of extra like random parallels in here too. So we've got, but they're not like crazy ones. They're just normal parallels, no like numbered ones or anything. All the numbered ones I have are those ones in my hand. But let me just grab the other cam just in case. Speedrun Tesco's. Oh, I'm very good at speedrunning Tesco's, but not in this scenario because there were cards to be picked up. So, we like to rip a pack on stream occasionally. And by that I mean every single stream. This is the one from the Eco Pack from Tuesday. So it's been sat on my desk since then. Oh. Okay. Let's see what we got. It's probably better if I just hold up to that camera actually, isn't it? What's the best one? I'll figure out a better solution. I might even switch this camera over to auto soon, so it's just not going to be a problem with the focus, because obviously it's on manual mode, which is why when I do that, you don't get any kind of, like, changes to it. Millie! Thank you for the 68 months, my friend. How are you, man?
Afternoon, Matt. Hope you and Pog are doing well. So warm in here. On annual leave next week and then start a new role in work in legal, which lets me train for the solicitor qualifying exam in 2 years, which will let me be a fully accredited solicitor
thingy, right?
working in-house. Smile now. Let's get crack on, pen these packs and win the final.
Mate, congratulations. That's awesome. I remember with some of the things I was looking at after uni, because I only had like a business and law degree, it was half and half. So I'd have to do like a conversion course to complete the rest of the law side of things. I wonder if that's like the same kind of thing. Either way, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Glad to hear your life is going so well for you. I'm opening top packs, so it's going quite well for me as well. I mean, yeah, it's a good Tesco's. They've got good stuff and packs, crucially. Right, so that's just a random Ipswich player. Then we've got Josh Eccles. Okay. I thought we'd mixed it up a little bit, usual suspect. Declan Rice. Okay, nothing crazy in there, but it's still Declan Rice. Can't argue with that. Don't think we have Declan. Oh, wow. It's a Chrome Classic, but it's Jermaine Defoe, and I already have Jermaine Defoe, which is annoying because I like that card. It's cool. Do like Jermaine Defoe, though. And then it's Jeremy Frimpong Nitro Boost. I don't think we've got Frimpong, actually, so that's a new one for it. And then Jurgen Strand Larsen. I don't think this one's likely to have anything crazy good in it. Oh, Perfect 10 and... Okay, that's quite decent. Perfect 10 and Jai. We do need him. And... Antoine Semenyo. And then Tyler Fredrickson, rookie card as well. Nice, okay, cool. Nothing crazy in that one, but still, some ones we don't have. I think most of those are not dupes, which is decent. Right, turn that camera off there as well. Half-time. Yeah, I figured half-time would be the best place for it. Absolutely, Mushroom Pump. We're bringing a big tin of all of our dupes, and because we've got quite a lot of insert dupes as well. So we'll bring the tin with us on Saturday. You've got it. You've got to have the goods, because, you know, it won't just be you and I. Hello, the Beast. We're doing very well. We're winning. We should be winning by more, though. It is the thing. We are... Millie, did I just see your name, like, ripple? Or was I mistaken there? It looked like it rippled into screen. Oh, it does! How does that work? Millie, how is your name animated on Twitch? Or is this a new feature that I'm not familiar with? Or is it because of that badge you've got next to it? That's so cool. Oh, is it BTTV? Ah, okay, that would make sense. I've never noticed that before. That's sick. Oh, you did the conversion course. I see. Right, so it's like the next stage. Okay, that's still really cool though. Congratulations, man. It's a halftime show. I mean, I can bring out Shakira in a minute if it would make it better. Everyone likes Dupe. This is true, actually. Dupe's a good lad. His Twitch is Spy, which they make it really obvious by making the name nice and sparkly. Yeah, did you bring the stuff? And I'm like, let me get my tin, which doesn't make it any better sounding. Okay. These are Topps cards, the flagship Premier League ones. I decided this all came genuinely from Smogfather in stream a couple of weeks ago when he asked me, did I collect anything? And I had to say no. And then I realized, you know what? That might be quite a fun little thing to see if... And then Pog got really into it too because she started organising the cards when I was opening the packs. And I thought, well, so that's quite a fun thing together because she likes opening the packs and stuff. And she's got the checklist and everything she likes to go through and make sure they're all in the right order. This is Pog's absolute, like... dream evening. We'll sit there watching like YouTube and stuff, and she's just got the big folder open on her lap, and she's linked to the on WhatsApp of the game. I absolutely can, Mum. It's yeah, I can. It will be on Twitch again, like it was last year, the same channel as WAP. But yes, if you remind me on Saturday morning, I can send you a link to Callum's channel specifically, so you can get it up on there as well. Now, speaking of VODs, excuse me, it's time for VOD comments because we're at half time. We may as well. Now's the perfect time. Let me open the folder on the VOD comments. Let me just minimize some of these for a minute. Where are we at? Oh, I'll also show you the predictions for the weekend while we're here. So, first one, relating to the goalkeeper, 100%. he does feel more full. And that's an interesting way of describing him, but I totally get what you mean. It feels like the DVD logo is hitting in the corner with Keita. Whereas a lot of our other goalkeepers, it was like, Whereas with Keita, it's just corner, corner, corner. Terrible analogy, but you hopefully stay with me on this one, right? Shamed into starting a collection. Hey, I needed a new hyperfocus. The best part is the FM Show pod, our group chat is basically just Tony and Aaron and I sending things we got in packs to each other. Tony got Brian McBride on stream yesterday, I think it was. He's feeling full. Oh yeah, 100%. He's full of attributes. Games in These are actually from the main video, not the VOD. Games like near its end. Not sure about this. I don't really understand entirely. I think maybe this is hinting at the idea of there wouldn't be an FN27, which I'm not sure how realistically anyone could still think that there won't be an FN27, accounting for the fact that they've already put out like public, and that might be not what we're getting at here in fairness. I may have, as usual with these things, misunderstood, but they're asking for like playtesters and stuff, aren't they? So they've already confirmed it. Indeed, yeah, exactly. So I think, I don't know, I mean, maybe they could delay it, I suppose, but I mean, come on now. Realistically, that's unlikely to happen again. Relating to the, if I had my own set of trading cards, which I'm still going to build that thing potentially, Cow or Bearfax would absolutely be in there as well. And the Maltese Cow by itself would have its own like shiny card too. We're in August, the new game is November. Well, the thing is, it's not in November, is it? Because it's always usually October, and it's the end of August. So the beta's usually late October. So we've basically got September and a bit of October. And to me, that is still nearing the end. If you think about it as a grand scheme of things, right? If you were 80% of the way, over 80% of the way through something, you will sort of be approaching the end, I guess. You'd be coming towards, you've went into the third act of a film at that point, I guess. Maybe I should describe it like that in future. We're in the third trimester of FM. No, technically, it would be the fourth trimester, which doesn't make any sense because I realise it's trimester, not quartmester, but you get my point. As for recalling players from clubs we don't want to qualify for Europe, it's, don't make me tap the sign, obviously, but more importantly, as much as we wouldn't want them to qualify for Europe over the other guys, if they are going to qualify for Europe, which they likely are, them having those good players makes more sense for us to keep them there. And there's no guarantee that us removing those players would actually make them any worse, as sometimes it doesn't even seem to do that. And then those players would just be stuck in our club. So there's really never a good reason, for the most part, to remove a lone player, with barring occasional circumstances where we have to bring one back. But for the most part, I just don't really see many scenarios where it's a optimal thing to do, it has to be, Mick. There's surely no way that anyone's ever won 11-0 in real life, at least in a Champions League semi-final. I don't know what the record is. It might have been 7 or a 7-goal lead, if I recall correctly. So as for the thing with that, I do actually keep track of all the packs that I open on stream versus the ones that we just buy, but ultimately I'm also not that bothered about like actually claiming it for expenses. I might do, but I'm not like desperate to do so. I do need to start keeping track of it a bit better though. No, we're at half time, Max, worry not. We are winning though. So with the loan farm thing as well, I think that it's not like only I would use it. I think a lot of people would find some use for it, I guess, right? And I would like to see the dev list come back as well, because it's not just what the dev list does as far as outstanding. It doesn't really do a lot in terms of finding loans as far as I know, but what it does seem to do is allow you to triage the loans, the offers that are coming in, and immediately say no to them, basically. So that's a good sign. Now, week 2 Premier League predictions, since I'm not here on Sunday. I'm not looking at it, I'm just taking the screenshot. Let's see what we end up with. This is my predictions for week 2. Bear in mind, I made these before week 1 had even happened. I've predicted the entire season, match day by match day, over the whole season, to see what kind of heinousness. 4-0 to Coventry. I'm not sure about that one, Chief. I am not sure about that one, Chief. Ooh, dear. I mean, I got some right last week. These are only going to get worse. Always draw 0-0 with Hull. Yeah, Bournemouth beating Everton, I could see that after having won on the opening day. Liverpool, I could see scraping past Forest, with Forest being a bit more in it than they were before. That feels like a thing where City do a similar thing like they did with Bournemouth. I was going to say, Fulham conceding 1 and only scoring 1 does seem, after having seen the first game, is a little bit of a surprise. That one, I figured was going to be, because I'd obviously predicted Hull to draw with them in the first game, I figured it would be a bit of a bounce-back response from United, perhaps. That one, I'm not so sure, having watched Villa last weekend. Potentially. So it's not awful. Chelsea home with Brighton. Brighton look pretty good too, though. I mean, Spurs beating Newcastle, I could... Having watched... I don't know. They're going to get worse, let's put it that way. When we come to week 38, and I would have predicted them in August, that's when you know it's going to be bad. I also have league table ones to show as well, every little in there. 3-0 Ipswich. I think that would be one of the biggest shocks of... 3-0 would be great. I feel like Do you remember there was that period where there was always a couple of just random away wins at Old Trafford? Palace and Swansea felt like they did it every year. Spurs winning, yeah. I mean, ironically, my prediction for the season was that Spurs would still finish bottom half, but yet when I was doing these predictions, it's turned out that my brain hadn't agreed with itself for some reason and seemed to think the Spurs would be really good for some reason. Coventry will certainly want to bounce back, and it's an opportunity after the way they played in the first game they need points on the board. And obviously Fulham, I think, will be up for it with Sunderland too, but then Sunderland obviously will need points as well. So it's a tough one. Right. Do I make any halftime subs? Honestly, no. We're playing well. Gomez is getting a poor rating, but I don't blame him for that. Naeem is somehow only on a 6.79 despite being the best player on the pitch. Cabezas has been a little bit off the ball, but Diabate can come in for him. John can come in for Alan if need be. We've got Stig and Sharpek if need be. Kowalski will probably have to come off because he gets a bit tired, but we've got Uche there too. There's options. I know Zadze and Blanca. There's so many options in this team now. I'm content to just go for it in the second half again. What I will do, though, is just take a gander at Real Madrid's passing map for a minute to see if there is anyone. Oh, okay, they're very wide. There's really nobody central that's doing anything for them. Most of their good players coming through Armour and Bertela. But they're so wide. It's weird I realise you can't actually see the pass map. I could have just put it full screen, couldn't I? That's actually surprising. With that in mind, I mean, do I really want to press too hard on those guys, though? He is passing a lot of success for him. What are we doing at the moment other than presumably tackle hard on everybody? I might trigger press on Bertela a little bit further. I don't really want to mark up wingbacks. That would be probably a bad idea. Dave, thank you very much for the raid, my friend. How's it going? It is at Wembley, yes. I was excited to see Harrington, at least. I mean, generally speaking, there's very few players that I hope don't do well, right? Because I don't know most of them personally and have no reason to root against them a lot of the time, right? How are we doing here? So far, so good. Genuinely dominating, but we need the second goal. As with any of these situations, it ain't over till the fat lady's singing. And she is warming up, but not yet. Trying to learn the words. Oh, I've known the words of this song I'm not even a WWE person, but this song is just on one of my favourite albums of all time, so it's ingrained into my memory. You know those songs that you listen to repeatedly when you were like 16, 17 years old? This album in general is one of them, so it's impossible to forget. I reckon if I was ever in like a situation where they were like, shit, there's a bomb that's going off and we need you to defuse it, but unfortunately the only way that you can defuse it is to know all of the Alter Bridge lyrics from this one specific album, I'd be like, listen, everybody's safe. It's fine. I don't have many skills, but this is one of them, probably. Oh, dear. Zachary Gretna, 2037-38. Fucking hell, fair play. That's some big progress, because where are Gretna these days? I remember the days of The Good Doctor. Hybrid Theory. Basically, anything up until about 2008, realistically. After Scream Aim Fire from Bullet, that's kind of where it starts to tail off a little bit. Dr. Dukar, of course. And it took you long to... Yeah, Millie, I'll be honest with you, I think I could have gone the rest of my life and not realised it if it wasn't for the fact that people kept coming into stream and being like, so Matt, when were you diagnosed with ADHD? And I was like, what? You being one of them. You find out in weird ways, okay? But it's okay because we moved forward. I'm all better now. Not. Better than it was. Just got to say the right passwords. The best example of that was when, I can't remember who it was, so forgive me, was asking about a specific song that was played during a wee break that I took, but it was from like 20 minutes earlier, and I managed to like reverse engineer what the song was in my head just by like triggering random thoughts. Oh, go on. Eventually we're going to score one of these. I can feel it. Just north of Scottish. Interesting. It's geography with Johnny. Not promoted if you lose two playoff games. Oh, God. I both love and hate really complicated player systems, such as, you know, Sirichi and the lads. I think it's great and probably feels incredibly satisfying if you do win it, but my God, is it probably a slog when you get into the playoffs and realise you've got another 15 games, probably. At the end, you win the Stanley Cup. Tommy, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome aboard. Hope you're well today. Well, these kids remind me of you. I think that specifically it's quite overrepresented in general in the FM community, and that's not a huge surprise when you consider that the special interest that this is and the things that you kind of almost intrinsically end up doing as part of enjoying this game in the way that we certainly do in this little group, at least. And when I say the FM community, I mean more in terms of the sort of content consuming. And maybe it's just my little corner of it, and I'm fine with that, right? I think the whole point about things like doing Twitch and YouTube and stuff is finding like-minded people, right? That's what I'm interested in. I wouldn't really want to be making content for people that don't think, at least, not, I mean, I want to make content for everybody, of course, but it's nice to have that sort of sense of community sometimes, right? I feel like I can be my slightly weird self. Naeem again, come on. No, shoot the ball. To quote that guy, just put it into the net. I heard Rich lived experience. He just didn't realize it was lived yet. It was rock. It was rock, which probably then triggered Toilet Rocks in my head. I remember listening to the song when I was having a piss, and then it was because a thought triggered from the song. Because obviously when I go for a wee, the music turns up louder, so it's louder in my headphones as well, which means I usually have a bit more recognition of what's playing when I go for a wee in like the play queue of my head. And so I think it was probably one of two songs that played during that. But when you said rock, yeah, it just kind of, we've got there in the end somehow. It's for sports for those who don't get picked for sport. Yeah, I mean, exactly. That was me in a nutshell. The only time I ever got picked first for sport and school stuff was when I randomly found out I was quite a good hockey goalkeeper. And suddenly it was like, oh, okay, we can hit balls at this dude. Let's go. My mind palace. Probably just an unintentional mind palace. I've tried all those like memory tricks and stuff, and some of them do actually work quite well. Like my dad and I have this, this just kind of sounds stupid, but it's also like proper like dad and son behavior. He basically, this is years ago, like 25 years ago, said to me like, Matt, I'm going to give you a like code word. And this is a code word that you'll always be able to say to me that no one else knows, that will always be able to prove that you are you and I am me in case of whatever reason. Say I'm kidnapped or something, or I've been taken over by the Clone Wars, etc. Because, you know, it's important to have these things in place. And I've never forgotten that. It's just lodged in my brain. I even remember the other code word that he had before then that we decided wasn't quite fancy enough. But it's stuck in my brain. Obviously, I'm not going to say it because that would be, you'd all steal my dad's identity. Doing up 100 different things at the same time, not finishing a single thing. Yeah. I mean, see, for example, my upload schedule for most of FM24. That was that at its absolute peak, basically. This is why you actually get recap videos in FM26, because I can finally do that sort of stuff. And it's what's allowed me to decide to, fuck it, take on a slightly bigger project, which is what you should be seeing, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. No. It'll come out before I go Italy, basically. That I want to get the first one out before then, because I just really want to. We do a lot of heading it back to the goalie, I've noticed, as well. Feels like 100 miles an hour. Yeah, it's... The biggest thing was... And the most frustrating thing was knowing the things I wanted to do, but I couldn't do them for some reason. And it was like a mental block that made no sense. Like, it's hard enough... Doing things you don't want to do is one of those human experience things that everyone struggles with. It's when you do want to, and you can't. And there's no explanation in your brain as to why that's the case. And it makes you feel kind of useless. And that's one of the biggest things that I've been able to not have to worry about so much anymore. Oh, slip around the corner, buddy. God. No, the descendants of John Gordon, all the succession of the Schroeder type. Yes. But I bet you that's someone's special interest, so they've learned that kind of stuff, right? I know more about geese than the average person because I enjoy them. So I took the time to learn it. It's just like the silly shit. Hello, Sam. Oh, interview went well. Hey, the main thing is that if you think it went well, likelihood it probably did. And now you can kind of just chill out because ultimately it's done. And worrying about it now is like paying interest on a debt you don't owe. So it's better to just... I know that's much easier said than done. But I think people spend so much time worrying about things that they can't even change. And that's the problem. And it's a problem I suffer with too. But I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to not think about things as much and just do instead. Like, less overthink, more doey. Danny, thank you for this 26 months. I'm going to thank you, and that's me doing that right now. How are you, man? I understand yeast more than a normal person. I mean, I bake from time to time, but I wouldn't say that I'm a big yeast understander per se. It speaks to me on a tasty level. No, geese specifically. Which reminds me though, I haven't actually baked for a little while, and I need to do that again. Maybe I'll do that with my little bit of time off. But, in fairness, I could have been a pro baker, for all you know. You should see the blondies I put out. They're cracking. Make a good banana bread, too, when it doesn't explode all over the oven. We should have a type. Oh, 100% we do, yeah. Like, everyone's got their little type. I'll be honest with you, Darth, I probably should have just pretended that that's exactly what I said and just had you wondering, am I in the right place? Or maybe that would have been the exact sort of thing. You'd have been like, actually, yeah, no, this is my type of dude. Up the yeast. baking stream. People that do those, I have a lot of respect for the people that do those types of IRL types of setups, even when it's just in their house, because the amount of like cameras and lights that they would have to move around, have all different angles and stuff, my brain would not be able to comprehend that level of stuff. I can barely cope with this setup, which is a camera, or when I'm doing the other stuff when I'm out running with the camera. That I've got a bit better at doing, but that's still not easy. The social anxiety there is absurd. Hello, Mike. How are you, my friend? Looking forward to seeing you. F1 Creative Bake Off. What would I mean, I'd obviously do my famous lol blondies. I'd made some Aero mint choc chip blondies for Pog once, which she quite enjoyed. Even put a bit of green food colouring in it just to make it like extra fancy. One kind. Brewers, you're right. Maybe it is brewers. I guess it's just because I have more experience of baking. I've never brewed anything other than maybe like tea. I guess that technically counts as brewing something, right? Let me turn the stats back on. I realised I turned that off. It does feel like they're starting to... my guess would be that Rail have definitely changed their tactical setup slightly at half-time to be more aggressive against us, which is absolutely fine. Because in theory, it should allow us more space in the transition phases, which is where we're actually arguably at our best. But we haven't actually had a shot yet in the second half. I mean, it has only been 10 minutes, I suppose. We've kind of threatened to have chances, but haven't quite executed. And frankly, that's okay as well, because we do have loads of bench options that I think could make an impact on this game if we needed. I mean, we'll have to bring them on at some point, but they can actually make an impact meaningfully in the sense that if we did suddenly find ourselves in a 1-1 here, I'd have faith that they would be able to do what's necessary to get us back in front. Yeah, we keep getting... These are the sort of things we don't notice as much when we're in key highlights, because you don't tend to see those sort of chances. We do occasionally overplay it a little. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, what a... But then occasionally you get little interchanges like that as well. That is lovely. Whew. Too anxious. Oh, no, that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this other thing, Dave, is to get over that. Like, if I'm running along with a camera, while I feel self-conscious, I also feel like, you know what, screw it. People do weird stuff all the time. One time I was filming in the park, and before I took the camera out and was talking to it, I was the only person that wasn't filming. It was very strange. So I think it's helping me get over that a little bit too. And just getting out of the house a little bit more, touching some grass and whatnot, and some yeast perhaps. Never touch the yeast, they bite. I'm going to defend in the last 6 minutes. I mean, I never change the mentality. I always keep it on attacking. The things I do to shut down games generally in the last sort of... In my other save, I've been doing it for the last 10 actually, is if you're playing a high tempo, I tend to lower the tempo right down, because less passing and less tempo means it's just, in theory, if you're tired at the end of the game, they're going to have to press you more anyway. I also tend to obviously stick time wasting and play for set pieces on, because that just slows the game down further. The other thing I do is I turn dribbling right down too, because in theory, you're going to have less chance of losing the ball when you do that. And sometimes I turn down the creative freedom, but I don't have a lot of creative freedom in my other system anyway. So that's what I tend to do instead of adjusting the mentality. Particularly if you haven't trained that mentality. Well, I mean, you say that, but today it was an absolute monsoon. I tried out my new waterproof running jacket today, and it was very waterproof. The problem was, though, because it's so humid and hot outside still, I was just getting saunaed on the inside. So it was like running in a sous vide bag, you know? I got back and I was absolutely medium rare. It was great. But at least we're getting a bit of a rain now, which is pleasant. No injury. Oh my god, incredibly. Hang on, we didn't get a single injury from the end of last stream, even through the league games I played, into the final. Not just for us, but for any of our lone players as well. It's the first time I think I've ever had that happen. Usually you get at least one first team injury that usually keeps them out of the final. We had a fully fresh, fully rested, entirely first choice 11 and bench today, which was just unheard of. Purple Quasar, thank you for the follow. That's a great name. I appreciate that, friend. Hope you're well. Who do you support? Australian raincoat. Australian raincoat sounds like an Urban Dictionary term for something that probably shouldn't be talked about. She gave him the Australian raincoat. It's disgusting, mate. To be fair, this is quite thin as well because it's designed for running. So the idea is that it's... What the fuck? Oh, that was really weird. Afrotruck, thank you very much for the gifted sub. That's very kind of you, my friend. How are you, man? It's basically just like a rain layer, and then underneath it's all the breathable stuff to try to allow you to breathe. But obviously, it needs to have a sort of seal on it to a certain extent in order to actually have it be waterproof, I guess. But my phone was just in my pocket the whole time and it didn't get wet, so I guess that's a good sign. A Dutch raincoat. You're right, I feel like you add Dutch to you add Dutch in front of pretty much any noun and it just immediately sounds sexual. Dutch oven, for example. Dutch raincoat. Why is that? What did the Dutchies ever do to us? Australian raincoat actually weirdly sounds like it's not a coat at all. It's actually a set of waterproof trousers. I don't know why because it's wrong hemisphere, you see. But I don't know, German. It's strange. But it feels like there's not a lot of other nationalities you can stick in front of it that would work in the same way. Vile creatures. Which nationality is it that's referred to as swamp Germans by the others? Is that Danish or am I thinking of somewhere else? There's some like weird little animosity going on in little tiny corners of Europe that I really want to learn more about. I think it's swamp Germans or something. I heard someone use it once. I was like, my God. Was that Dutch as well? Of course it was. Hard coded the Spurs injury crisis into the game. I wonder if maybe they've hard coded whatever they're doing in training that's causing it into the game, perhaps. Is that the Dutch as well? Goodness me. I'm so sorry, Dutchies. It's an accent I absolutely adore. Tall race of people as well. They absolutely dwarf us. I'm surprised there isn't more NBA players that are Dutch, frankly. Heard the Dutch language. I think it's a great language. Mostly just because... Is it Frisian? That's spoken in parts of the Netherlands as well, is it not? Or maybe not. That's the one that's like most closely mutually intelligible with English, if I remember correctly. Hello, man. Not speaking of Dutchies. This is where you're like, I'm Belgian. British Ranger steals your wallet. And oh, actually, the other thing is when I took off... Is it more Belgian? When I took off the rain jacket, I realised I had not taken off the goddamn full, like, cardboard tags and the rope bit that was attached to it. And I'd just done an 8-mile run with all that down the back of my neck and I hadn't even noticed, which is a bit concerning. Would be why I've got back pain. Either way, don't do that. Also, I accidentally washed my pop socket straight afterwards too, which also sounds bad. No! The best part is as well, what I just said is now going to end up in the clip that I have to use to describe this game next recap video as well. I'm going to have... The clip is literally going to start with me saying, and then I washed my pop socket. Fuck's sake. Typical, isn't it? Deflects as well. Keeper goes to punch. And to be fair, they get the block in there as well, but then he somehow gets to... There's 3 of them there. Like, one of you's got to do that. Oh, Christ. What was a pop socket? Oh, you know, Mike. You know. Right, okay. I was going to make some subs anyway, but now we're going to have to. They've literally had 2 shots on target. Let's re-record. Re-record a live clip. That's impressive. That's a tough one. Re-recording live things is not an easy task, my friend. It does require time travel. And I'm a smart man, but no, I'm not. I'm a man, and even I do not have that level. This is actually a recorded stream. I was just guessing what y'all are going to say. One Piece, you could fly over that. It ain't that deep. I was just joking. Like, I'm more than happy to have that be in the clip. I was just... I might go Sticky off the bench, actually. Voiceover combo. Just have to try and match similar words, like those misheard lyrics things. And you end up some kind. No, for those of you that don't know what a pop socket is, because I realise there might actually be a set of you that don't. It's the thing that is on the back of my phone that allows me to hold it like that and just... But this one is magnetic, so I take it off when I go running so I can stick it down the side of my trousers.
No use crying over a corrupted save, so for a quick save in between FM26 and FM27 I will do a Triacontagon. Win the 6 CLs for men, 6 CLs for women, 6 Continental Championships for men, 6 Continental Championships for women, and the last 6 is World Cup X2, Club World Cup, Intercontinental Cup X2 and Women's Olympic Games.
I'll be honest with you, Ard. I like the part where you started that with, I'll do a quick save between FM26 and FM27, and then proceeded to list the longest save imaginable. Unless that's the joke, in which case I'm an idiot. Either way, that's fantastic. That sounds incredible. It's like me being like, I'm just going to head out for a quick marathon this morning. I've got time. I'll do it during the wee break if you want. That's incredible, man. I just do not have the patience for it, unfortunately. It's a poop song. Maybe. That's... Be like 60... I do 60 seasons while the world's still putting on their shoes. Exceptional. There's multiple people. Well, and why do you think there's no one else in the room, hey, Half? It's very convenient. Right. But I don't need to dub it. I'm more than happy to just have that be the words. It was a joke. I'm glad the window's closed. Oh, I'm actually not because it's really hot in here. having this effect. But it's a different type of patience, Rakini. You're right, actually, probably. If I came up with an idea that was equally as convoluted and had all these things, I would probably be well into it as well. I mean, Outcast of Icons kind of has that same level of like, but there's extra rules in here. And you know I love a rule. Sloths and Zootopia fast work. I mean, they get there, you know? It's done at their own pace. Right. Stiggy's on. Diabate's on. How is Kowalski looking? He is quite tired, but he's just so good. Alan's played okay, but I feel like maybe the option that John gives us could also be useful, which would then leave us the ability then later to bring on Sharpek. And then, I guess, Coffee maybe, but then Naeem, am I really taking him off at this point? No, Zante could come in as well. There's options, basically. It's not, Andrew. I don't think it's Afterglass. It's rarely ever your fault, actually. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Now I can't blame you in future. Hayward! Thank you for the 19 months, friend. How are you, man? What I'll do is I'll dub over all the clips with the word pop socket. How about that? You didn't see that one coming, did you? Right, let's just get rid of that. Open a pack. I already did that. 12 players ever. I'll do a save where I manage every single team in the same league at the same time. It's hot seating. Cover yourself with rarely. Yeah, I mean, you got it, right? It's important to never admit fault. It's a water break. Do you know what? That was actually really pleasant to see on watching Monday Night Football. And I was like, oh, wait, there wasn't a hydration break here. The game just carried on and no one died. It's crazy. Actually, I am going to use this as an opportunity for a whiz break, genuinely, because I'm actually running out of water. So I'm going to come back and return with those, and then we will continue this game, because it looks like we're heading to extra time as things stand. So enjoy your whiz quiz. And by that, I mean enjoy Andrew stomping all over you, because it is his fault. Ooh, you've done poorly there, haven't you? What happened? That's incredibly poor. Is Andrew okay? Do I need to call someone? Unreal. And in case you're wondering, it was caskets for when someone asked later. Insane. I mean, that means he's probably still not top, in fact, because all time, yeah. 2 points off of it. Inferno's in there as well. Mike is technically on the leaderboard at the very bottom. I can't even see him on my version because I've got the deaf version. 90s Portugal, West Ham player. That's a tough one, in fairness. That's like the Uzbek guy at the World Cup one, in fairness. I'll let you off on that one, chap. Also, I realised I never actually updated you on this. If you recall, I had a puddle in my milk. I had a puddle in my milk tray. What can I say? And we found the culprit in the end. Turned out, Pog had not tightened correctly a bottle of Sprite, and the entire milk tray essentially was full of Sprite. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't stick my hand in it to know that if I had it on, I would have pretty been able to tell pretty quickly that it was sticky. So yeah, it was actually just full of Sprite. My fridge hadn't like super condensated or anything like that. It was just full of a lovely lemony liquid. And obviously we just, tipped it all out and cleaned it down. But this morning when I took the fridge out to make my protein shake, took the milk out, it was like stuck to the bottom of the drawer. My milk tray, it does. Me and Khalees were like that. Let's go. Right, we're back. The hydration break has happened. Lemon lime. You're right, that's why I don't like it. I'm not really a big Spritey person. I'm more of a lemonade stan, I'll be honest. Did we just lose the ball off the fucking kickoff? Jesus Christ. I took the fridge out. Yeah, It needs to see things, alright? It gets bored in the kitchen all the time. Wait, the substitutions haven't gone through yet. We're alright. If you don't need it, God. Just buy a new one. It's fine. Speaking of actually, not in any way, Pog and I booked a holiday last night. We actually did the thing rather than talking about doing the thing. We've booked a little break, which is going to be nice. We're going to Tuscany, which is going to be pleasant, with some friends. Oh, God, Mohammed, Oh, it's like watching us before, isn't it? Right, changes are made now, because that is... I am a lemonade stan. I'm the duck from the memes. Showing the fridge things it's never seen before, like a full vegetable drawer. That's actually untrue. I buy a lot of veg. I just have to buy... Should have saved that pack. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, I'm really excited. We're flying into Pisa and then staying not in Pisa, but like sort of in that kind of general area. And yeah, it's going to be really nice. So that'll be sort of 18th to the 20th something of September, around that sort of area. Pizza Hut, I mean, hey, how are you going to get there? You're right, the duck walked up to the lemonade stand. That is an inky right. Honestly, I'm ashamed of myself for not remembering the full joke there. And he wanted grapes. So, not to be that guy. What in the pop socket was that? Good. What in the world? That is the... Oh, what in the world? They've literally... The only chances they've had in this game have been... I don't even know why catered... Why is he diving for that? Oh... If we lose this Champions League final because of that, that would... Particularly as we're actually playing really well. And it's the worst thing about it is you look at it and go, oh... Nothing I can do, nothing I tactically do here is going to make us better. We're already playing fantastically. Those types of goals are just lightning in a bottle, except in this case, it's actually poop in a bottle, and it's been thrown through my window. What I will potentially do, though, is go for another subby here. Since Al Shankiti's missing every chance that's available to him, and we might as well roll the last change here, because we don't really have another one that can come off from Monperu, so he may have to complete the full 90. I mean, there's Raul Carlos, but the levels do drop off quite a lot, and realistically, it probably has to be Uche for... Oh, hang on a minute, though. Wait, I've got a better idea. Diabate could... No, okay, Diabate can't do that job, apparently. Wait, is that because he can't do the in-striker position? Oh, no, he can't play as number 10 at all. Right, never mind. Let's undo that. I thought I was cooking there. It turns out I was not, in fact, cooking in any way. We do have Nozadze, who also can't do the job, as it happens. Right, okay, cool. Yeah, neither of them can play as a number 10, unfortunately. Actually, Nozadze might be able to. Oh, no, he can't either. Right, okay, yeah. Don't want to ruin him with that. In that case, I'll just stick to what I was originally going to do. Basically, Kowalski's played exceptionally well. I was like, do I take him off? But the one thing he doesn't have, he's tired. Fuck it. If we can get back to extra time, we can bring on Coffee for Naeem at that point as well. God's sake. This one felt like such a sure thing. And to be fair, on paper, it should be. We've played fantastically. We've done everything we could have done to win this.
Been a long time since quarter stream. My fault, I'm lazy.
That's right, we're all lazy here. So is our defence, apparently. Zero Fox, thank you, though, very much for the 8 months. How are you, man? How's life treating you? This is where we get absolutely done now and lose 4-1 out of nothing. Yeah. Focus on different ages. It depends on the type of player, obviously. So, in terms of training, I like to focus, in terms of individual training at least, I try to focus on their weaknesses rather than role training. So say you've got a striker you could put him on a role training for channel forward or whatever, but it will hit too many broad things potentially, and it might end up making him better in areas that he may already be good in, and which is still good, but he might develop that naturally. Whereas what I'll do is, say he's got poor composure, then whacking him on final third is much more targeted, and you tend to get better success with it. Now, obviously, it will come down to game time is more important than anything, as well as the player's personality. Like, if they are a professional type of player, then they will develop better in general. However, if you do find a guy's a little bit lacking in certain types of physicals, like their speed, we've noticed that, certainly in 26 at least, that putting them on quickness training during their sort of formative years in the team from sort of 16 to 18 does seem to have some quite nice results, which I did not anticipate. We've had players getting like 3 or 4 points of speed, acceleration and pace over that, which I just don't think would have happened in 24. Trying to find a fun FM save all year at this point. I mean, could I suggest to you a 60 season epic save as a little quick one to get you through to the end of the game cycle? I'm sorry, Ard, I don't know why you're catching strays. It just sent me. Right, slide him in. Yes. Oh, and again, it's a good block as well. It's just these like... Well, Bruce has actually been quite good today, in fairness. But, I mean, has he? The penalties carrying some of his... I'm just baffled by this. The chances have been there. Oh, there's another save. I mean, that's a tough task, in fairness. They are playing quite fast here. But we've got more fresh legs. 15 minutes of freshies. Maybe. We deserve a chance. I mean, it's another free kick. Changes the way the game plays. I don't know. It's tough to say. I guess, I mean, it would be a really tough one to get data on as well, because you'd have to sit through a lot of full matches in order to even have the data. My suspicion is probably no, because I'm guessing that what happens is when you go into a game, it plans it out, and then it has like a script essentially for the game that then it plays out for you. But then obviously the things you do in the game where you make changes, that will obviously affect things dynamically in that. But I still suspect that it's got some kind of idea of what's supposed to be happening, but we'll see. Wait, he got a yellow card for that? Rubbish. So I guess the only way to find out really would be to suddenly start playing a lot of not instant resulted, but like key highlights Champions League finals. Because if you recall the last final we had, where we played Barcelona, we were much more conservative in that game and played very withdrawn. But we still basically, I think they had 2 shots in the entire game. Neither of them were on target. We ground them out and played fantastically. But this has not been, in terms of our actual attacking output in this game, I would say it's actually not far off of the same numbers of XG, shots and chances that we had against Chelsea when we beat them 6-0 in the last game. And it's crazy how simply not being able to rise to the occasion. Now, I guess part of the issue with Cabezas is that he doesn't like big matches, and I do wonder if it was a mistake from me to start him here over Diabate, no matter how good a season he's had, where he has literally been the best player on our entire team. But his lack of big matches certainly did seem to come into fruition today, because he's just not really been at it. He's the guy you can normally rely on. High speed and highs. Yeah, I think it kind of already knows what's going on. I don't know. I would be curious to know how that actually breaks down, how the games themselves are actually sort of not coded, but what's going on under the hood that's deciding X, Y, and Z can happen. I actually thought I was going to deflect in there. That might have been generational head loss if that had gone into. Good save. Yeah, so DMC2 basically, Real Madrid had a blocked shot after a goalkeeper save, and then they had an empty net with 3 defenders standing around, and then they had an indirect free kick that my goalkeeper dived for instead of just coming for it or leaving it, and then they had another empty net. So, as usual, curse of goalkeepers yet again. He relishes big matches, I heard. It's same old story here. But in fairness, this is also down to us not having our chances. Like, we've had loads of openings, could have scored 2 or 3 goals in this game so far. If we lose it, obviously it will be blamed on the goalkeeper. But it's also on us for not taking those chances. I thought it showed the new progress screen where you could move time-based slider. It showed how their attributes changed over time. Oh, that would be so good. So good. I think I'm just cursed to forever have bad goalkeeper performance. 6.1 from my goalkeeper, who relishes the big matches. It really is just impossible. And bear in mind, the only goal that we've actually scored in this game was a penalty. We've missed every single open play opportunity that we've managed to get in this entire match so far. And I don't think that's going to be... What is he doing? Oh my God. Are you trying to play for Real Madrid? Baffling. He has so many players ahead of him that he could play that pass to. Right, try again, buddy. Okay, Stefan Diabate has come on and is genuinely dropping... He's beatable on his day. This is unreal. For a good player that he is, all he's really done since he's come on is get booked and give the ball away. And for a player as good as he is, what's his decision making? 15. Doubt. Goodness me. I feel like I must have accidentally broken several mirrors and not realised it, right? Maybe I just shattered them with my terrible looks as I run past them. It's the only thing I can think of. He probably gave away the free kick for the goal as well, yeah, almost certainly. Big back. I don't think he does. Watch him before he has even worse big matches than Cabezas does. I'll be honest with you, I probably should have looked into that more before the game, but then I don't really know what changes I would have made, because realistically our best 11 were the players we started the game with, and with the exception of the Diabate Cabezas decision, I don't know if there's any other ones I would have switched out, because I don't think John likes big matches either, which is what... This had better be onside. Come on, please, FM, I beg of you. See those arms in the air? Yep, come on, 2-2. Desmond, baby. Stig does it again. Was this Diabate with the assist? Because if so... Okay, this is an absolutely exceptional pass. To fed that through the two defenders into that tiny little gap, and for Stig's first time shot, Stig has been unreal this season. He's barely played from the start of a match, and yet he's got, I think, 20 goal contributions in total. He's got 12 assists, and I think that's his 8th goal of the year. Come on. Some say his father was a goose, and that's why he is the way he is. A deserved equaliser, and now, if we do go to extra time, which it looks like we will do, Naeem can be the substitution. It's a shame because he's been fantastic today, but it will probably be Coffey's last game in a Wisła shirt anyway, because he's leaving in the summer because he would refuse to sign a new contract. Unless we grab another goal now, or we could just win it in normal time, I suppose. Maybe don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here because Real Madrid are actually starting to come at us a bit more now. What's our keeper going to do this time? Oh my god, it's our former player as well. Where did he's only just come on the bench. It's Adan Catalar. I think that deflects as well. Don't really blame the keeper for that one. That's just bad defending. We could do this in normal time, or we could lose it in normal time. God's sake. Keeper takes a hit for that, but it ain't really his fault. On that one occasion. Yeah, I don't know where... I think Naeem's tiredness is probably what cooked us a little bit there as well. But obviously we couldn't make another substitution. Well, we could. We're waiting till extra time. How is this a 3-2 defeat right now? This was 1-0 to us at half-time. Right, come on, Anwar. One last roll of the dice, buddy. Oh, that's a good ball, actually. Oh. We are still camping there. A 5.9 in a Champions League final for a Relish's big match goalkeeper is actually... I think it goes to sort of prove my point further about it doesn't actually matter. We could have anybody in goal at this point. Is he going to get behind there? Not quite. Just keep the pressure on them. Well played again. We are certainly putting... Oh, no. 89th minute. Yeah. I mean, yeah, with Gomez, we did come back from a goal down against Manchester City in stoppage time to win it. So it can happen. Obviously, Gomez isn't on the pitch to do that. But Stig is. And Sharpak hasn't really had much of an impact just yet. I can't believe we're losing this. What's that match momentum for the second half? Yeah, they've definitely got more of a foothold on it. Our midfield passing has definitely been dreadful today, which is shocking, really, because there's no reason why. Because the thing is, they're not even getting it intercepted a lot of the time. Well, they are, but because they're giving away the ball with terrible passing. It's so weird, considering how good of passers of the balls they actually are. Long ball. I wonder if the long ball thing is partly because of the... Then again, the goalkeeper wouldn't be dribbling. Maybe he would have been. Right, can we get in there again? Nice. This feels like it's now just going to fizzle. Obviously, I could throw it on very attacking at this point, but there's really no point in doing that. Like, it's... All that's going to do is cause us to have long shots from this. And we're obviously better off... I mean, maybe in like stoppage time I might consider it. But at this point, we're still probably better off trying to get that more gilt edge opening. Because I feel like there is one more chance in this game for us. Oh, goodness me. It does. It just feels like the longest highlight of all. I can't believe this. We have had some truly heinous luck at times. I guess the one thing is we're helping Spain catch England. That's my copium. It was the plan all along. Look really good for the entire match and still balls it up. I'd be devastated if we only got two Champions Leagues in this save. Go on, Mate. Oh, canal. That being said, I do feel like the tactical setup we've got now, with the way that it plays, is the sort of thing that could lead us onto an insane European run of Champions League wins, given how well we played against Chelsea, how much more dominant we've looked in, even against the elite teams of Europe. What is the passing, though? Real Madrid have definitely stepped up the tackle play, for sure. They seem more aggro with us in the second half. Right, slide into the channel. That's better. Let Stig take his man on, or something. We need an overlapping run here, actually. He's just lost it. Get it back again, maybe? Oh, that's a good par. No, it's not. Okay. The fact that our forward player as well, who's probably going to be leaving Real Madrid soon too, is the one that scored the goal against us, makes this hurt a little bit more. Please find the pass. Nice. That's better. Come on. Anwar, do something here. Oh, that's a foul. Right, at least we've got a free kick in a good spot here. More Champions League finals fix? I don't think so. Usually it's around about 50-50 / usually slightly higher above that. Right, come on. What have you got, Montpe, here? That keeper's leaving a lot of space. He probably could have shot there, actually. Like, the Real Madrid keeper left an awful lot of angle for him there. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Wait, that's somehow kept in. Hey, never mind. Because I think this would be our third... Is this our third or fourth Champions League defeat? Yeah, Diabate, I mean, to be fair, he did provide the assist for the equaliser, lol. But he has not really been great upon coming on. He did the one thing which he was there to do, in fairness. But... And I don't really blame him for this. Like, we should be at 2-2 right now. We just literally went to sleep as soon as we got level. And part of that is on Naeem's being tired here, but he's usually okay. That said, I do tend to... Actually, have I been taking him off? Haven't really been taking him off as much this season. Naeem's just left one on Prado here. Ain't really much we can do about it from this point. Kwasi had a poor... I mean, the defenders have kind of... In the second half, have just given up the ghost. I wonder if Real Madrid have brought on... They do have quite a tall team. When you look at the height differentials between their players and ours, they do seem to have a more... They've got more stature in their team than we do. Some of our players are a little... We do have some quite tall guys, but even our centre-backs are not absolute aerial monsters. I might, for the last, literally, minute of this match, throw it on it very attacking, but it's probably too late for it to even come into effect yet. Oh, that's actually a good pass. Please now, Mateus. He's into the box. Got to find the pass. No! Oh, he's got to go to the edge of the box there. Fear no evil. Thank you very much for the follow. I fear nothing except Real Madrid, apparently. One last chance here. Come on. 95th minute equaliser in the Champions League final. Why is John on this side of the pitch? I guess because of the throw-in takers, right? Naeem. It's a corner. We've got a corner in the 96th minute at this point. They don't always go short. We have like several routines I put in there now. So this one is a short one, annoyingly. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Naeem, please put the ball in the box. Please. It's another corner. It's another corner. This one actually just whip it in. Don't go short this time. Whip it in. The keeper's up for a reason. Imagine the keeper scores the equaliser now. Wait. Naeem again. Montperus. Diabate. Somebody shoot. Somebody shoot! Why would you want to shoot there? It's all right, you're only on the edge of the area in the Champions League final and you're losing. Why would you want to shoot from there? Oh, attacking mentality. It works great for us. I mean, it's how we got here. We beat 11-0 Chelsea in the semi-final. Oh, goodness me. I'm actually surprised that happened on very attacking. Oh, it wasn't on very attacking, was it, technically, yet? No, it was, because we had the throw-in. I can't believe we've lost that. I actually cannot believe we've lost that game. That's bizarre. We were in total control of that match until all of a sudden we just weren't. I mean, goalkeeper fucked us for 2 goals. It was, yeah, the fact that Catalan did it as well. Oh my god. Basically, we were in control up until they did score as well. And that came out of nothing, really. Let me pay the points out. That literally just came out of nowhere. Choose prediction outcome. Will we win it? Only 8% said no, and I don't blame you, honestly. More people thought that Lech Poznan than no, to give you an idea. And I would be one of the... I'm blown away by that. Yeah, the fact that they keep... Bear in mind, they can play it long there. It's like there's multiple options in the rotation now. Oh, dear. Yeah, Catalan came on in the 64th minute. And obviously didn't score until the 85th. I didn't even notice him on the pitch up until then. Prada was terrible. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it is his fault for the... I mean, for the first goal, it's not really his fault because he saves a deflected shot, and those ones are always difficult. The second one is absolutely his fault, though. That's the one that really irked me because it just came out of nowhere. Like, they get a lucky goal for their equaliser, and it happens, and we didn't take our chances before then. But the second one is 100% on him, but then we got level. And it's like literally almost straight from the kickoff. I think even if this was on key highlights, I'm pretty certain that it would have been the highlight that starts with the kickoff anyway. So it wouldn't have been any different. I can't believe we've not won that. That is disgusting. I do want to check our previous Champions League finals now to see if this is the third or fourth defeat that we've had in them, because that one just came out of nowhere. It does actually, though, make me feel very confident that we will win many more and will be far better at getting back to them in the future. Because this is a massive step up tactically for us, even if it just went wrong in this game because of weirdness. It's a bit like, do you remember the first time we played it in the Champions League against Porto and they scored those two really random goals out of nothing? And it was a draw, but it's like, whatever, right? They happen. This was kind of like that. Just, oh, God. Is that back-to-back Champions Leagues for Real Madrid as well? What are they? Champions League, past winners. Oh, no, it's PSG last season. My apologies. So technically, this is our third Champions League final defeat. The last time we lost one was that one to that Bayern one was an absolute nightmare as well, if I remember. Oh, I remember the Spurs. God, the fact we played Spurs and Arsenal in back-to-back Champions League finals, but really from here on is where it's actually like legit. That's the worst. That's so bad. We did score the most goals in the Champions League this season, which is something. I guess like that counts for something, right? I do want to check on Diabate's big matches, actually, if he has them. Is he even old enough to know that yet? To be fair, he may hate big matches. We just wouldn't have any clue if he did or not, because he's only 20 years old, so we wouldn't know that information yet. Crazy! Thank you for the follow. God, I hope he doesn't. Zaza's the same age, right? Out of our starting 11, how many of them didn't like big matches? Gomez does, right? Or, no, he enjoys big matches. Obviously, our goalkeeper does, lol. Alshan Kiti relishes them. He was kind of crap in the final too, actually. Didn't score the most goals in the final. This is very true, yeah. Kwasiopud, does he like big matches? He relishes them as well. He was terrible in the final, in fairness. Mana enjoys them. Is there anyone that doesn't other than Cabezas? Staney's on the fence, isn't he? Oh, no, he enjoys them too. Why did I think he didn't? Kowalski? He does too, doesn't he? Yeah, he enjoys it. It's not like the high end of it, but it's still something. Cabezas doesn't feel comfortable, which I think is only just below the line, right? That's like the first step on the red one. Even that isn't the end of the world. And you think that the rest of the team would be able to cover that off. Naeem surely does, right? He enjoys them. Maybe we have too many enjoys of big matches to the point where it's stack overflowed. He relishes them as well. It's actually impressive because we don't really try to target specific. A lot of these guys we summon when they're young, so we're not even knowing that information about them. But we seem to be able to have a pretty good hit rate at finding guys. Admittedly, with Alan, we did know he enjoys them too. Of finding guys that generally have them, which is something. Is that all of them? I think that was the entire team, right? So the only other than Keita, of course, who relishes them allegedly. So the only player in our starting 11 for that match that didn't like big matches was Cabezas, and even he was only on the fence about it. Johnny Boy doesn't, if I remember correctly. So I do wonder if maybe bringing him on doesn't enjoy the... Yeah, I mean, I could have left Nathan Allen on. Maybe Vidazenia doesn't like them. What does Stig think about this? Is he 23? He is. I mean, he played like he did. Wait, does he actually not? Oh no, he's kind of ambivalent, I think. It's probably the one weakness in his entire game, to be honest. Yeah, maybe he thinks relish means something different. Sharpek is 21 still, so we don't know his yet. I get the feeling he does. He usually plays quite well in big games. Not in that one, admittedly. Who else came on that game? Was that all of them? Coffee? What about Coffee? Not that he actually got onto the pitch anyway. I don't think he likes them, does he? Oh, no, he does. Fucking hell. He just loves actual relish and has mistaken it. What about Akbash? Okay, Akbash is more on the fence. I'm kind of glad we didn't start him. Not that it makes a whole lot of difference. High pressure robs off. I don't think it does, though. I'm pretty certain that the big match attribute is locked. It doesn't change. I don't know that for sure, obviously, because you'd have to look at a player's career using something that could actually see that information. But I don't think that the big match attribute is one of the ones that can actually be changed, per se. That is dreadful. 50 games. FM just released a video. No, I haven't, because obviously I'm streaming. So what's the video? Have you got a link? I'm curious now. FM released a video. Is it 42 minutes long? Asking for a friend. Oh, 50 million quid. We'll take that at least. Move slightly. Really? But I mean, how slightly are we talking? Because if it's like one attribute point, it's probably not going to make a huge difference. I didn't think it did change at all, honestly. Slight positive. Okay, that will indicate that it's probably multiple points. I guess it's like, it's not like consistency, but I always thought it was just locked in. Only 2 minutes. Okay, has anyone got a link for it then? That's interesting. 2 minutes. Community. Oh, Chris. Chris is at it again. What's he saying? No, he didn't get an assist in that game, did he? He should have done, but he didn't. Yeah, he finishes on 24. I mean, it's still a hell of a season. And bear in mind, that's over like half a year as well. I'd be curious to see what he could do now we've kind of built this new style of approach. Because players like Al-Shankiti and that didn't have any goals either really up to the point. Let's have a look. Right, let me just mute the music for a moment so we can listen to what Chris has to say. Very promising. Oh, okay. Right, get off that. Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to play it on a different website, otherwise I have to log in. Right. What the fuck? Oh, good. Can I play it without having to sign in? Oh, for God's sake. Has this been uploaded anywhere I can actually listen to it? Sounds great. I'm really liking what he's saying so far. And the SI forum, has anyone got a link for it? I'm glad they did that there, because I can't play things on here because I'm not logged in to X on this browser. I'm sure it'll be somewhere. If anyone has a link, I'll play it because I am curious to see what Chris has to say. The fact that he's doing it like face to camera as well, interestingly. We can cheer ourselves up. Hopefully it's good news. Bring back cup draws. I agree. Wait, was that what the first comment on it said? I agree. That was one of the things we discussed last stream, actually. We're doing the wish list episode. Oh, it's a YouTube short.
Hey everyone, it's Chris
there
here.
We go.
I recently joined Sports Interactive to help us get more connected with you, our community, bringing you closer to the world of Football Manager and the people behind it. And that's why I'm here today. We're almost ready for kickoff. This update is all about making sure you're aware of where we are right now. First off, I'm very pleased to confirm FM27 will be released in November. We're in the final stages of development, which has been going really well. As soon as we're ready, we'll share that specific launch date alongside confirmed platforms. In terms of features and development, we're evolving the current design whilst restoring ideas and behaviours you value and that worked well in previous editions. Your feedback has been key to this, heavily influencing our decisions for FM27. The goal is to make the game easier to navigate and make the football world around you feel more alive and connected to your managerial journey. Overall, our focus has been simple, building a game you'll want to play again and again. Beginning in September, we'll deliver a series of deep dives, including detailed breakdowns, behind-the-scenes insights from key people here at the studio, and exclusive first looks at gameplay. As well as sharing things like this, we're creating opportunities earlier and more often for you to experience the game and share your feedback. Members of the community have been visiting the studio regularly to test an in-development version of FM27. This has landed well, and the feedback is helping us refine the game further. On top of this, we were thrilled to see over 40,000 of you register interest for our remote playtesting program, which is due to roll out shortly. We can't wait to have more of you not just seeing, but playing what our team have been working on. We're learning from the past by making sure you're more in the loop with what's going on. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me and my team from here on out. It's already been great to chat with some of you across the SI forums and Reddit. And on that note, an official Discord server for FM will go live in September, where you'll be able to connect with us, meet fellow players, and share your best saves and wonder kids, trophy lifts, and everything in between. I hope to see you in there. In the meantime, let us know what you think of community updates like this. Thank you. Hey everyone.
Ultimately, I feel like if anyone was expecting Chris to come out with like, hey, and here's a copy of the game and this is what's in it, like that was obviously not going to happen. But communication is always better than none. And like, obviously, it would have had 100 lawyers read over it because it's Sega. And now I'm getting a phone call. It could be Sega. Right, let's see. Hello? Mm-hmm. Have you?
One immediately to speak with our fraud prevention team or press 2 to approve the payments.
Oh, wait. Oh, come on. I thought it was going to be a fucking... We're calling from bank I don't bank with, so that's fun. Press 2 to approve FM27. Oh, I should have pressed 2. I knew it. Sorry, we've been praying for the opportunity to finally handle a spam call on stream. The last time we got one, they hung up before I could actually get them on the mic properly. I'm about to become a new kid poker. Get those. All you have to do, chat, is get me loads of gift cards, okay? So, let's coming back to this, right? Let's, let me get off the screen. I think, how do I get this out of full screen? There we go. Do not 3D. Exceptional. It's got like ingrained into my brain. It's better than before. It's communication. It's obviously confirming a lot of things that we already suspected would be the case, like November release. That's usually how it goes. But the thing where they said about members of the community coming down to the was that what he said? Have they mentioned that before? Because I know they did the thing where they put out the sort of call for playtesters for the remote, essentially. Oh, excuse me, for September. But I don't think that's the first time. Sorry, I think that's the first time they've mentioned that, right? Basically for us, because the beta test is not playable and crashing. Yeah, that's the strangest thing about it. It's like this thing that isn't finished. The complaint is often this thing that isn't finished isn't finished. It's like, yes, of course. But I mean, I think that's why they're taking a big old sort of. No, they've not mentioned that, have they? I wonder what they mean by. I mean, I'm guessing they mean like when they say members of the community. I'm curious to know what that means. Some say I'm actually there right now, and this is just a green screen, and I'm just stood in Miles's office. Far be it from me to... I couldn't possibly. I will have signed all the documents and whatnot. Another news, I'm away later. No, I'm joking. I am actually... We're finishing early today, but that's not because of that, obviously. I'm going to get a haircut. But he... That's true. He didn't say... He said of the community. He means like locals. Just yelling out the window. Or you, FM, perhaps? Feedback before. It'll be... Yeah, like I'm guessing like forum people, presumably, right? My job to throw eggs at people outside the office, force them to chase me inside. There you go! It's the only way you'll catch me playing FM26. The best own goal I've ever encountered. I mean, although we didn't score an own goal in the most recent game, it felt like it. Okay. We've seen some pretty crazy ones lately, so this is going to have to beat... Whoa! Holy top... Did he diving head... I don't know what happened with the quality. That was very strange. Did he just diving header it into his own goal? The Fulham claim on the Bullard podcast. No, I didn't. What have Fulham claimed? I guess so, but like that certainly seems like another step in the right direction, right? It's yes, they're doing mad things. Get the base and spend 5 hours clicking every combination of buttons to break it. But to be fair, that's not Mike's job. Gonna get the clip. But I mean, I don't know because I don't know the context or anything, right? The same with things like copyright and stuff. But that's yeah, I'm always reticent about playing. I mean, obviously we play the FM thing, but I feel like I'm pretty safe grounds with stuff to do with Chris Groves. Is it the Tony? Too many buttons. I mean, I don't know. I've seen Mike. He can push a lot of buttons. Mike's office actually is just a giant stream deck that covers an entire wall. And what he does is he runs into it at different angles to then trigger all the different button combinations. That's how he did it. That's why they call him Sweet Left Side of his body or something. But I don't see... I mean, obviously, anything they communicate with us is better than not communicating, ultimately. And it's sometimes they do get stuck in that trap of where people will complain no matter what they do. But I don't really see that there's much to complain about in there, ultimately. The fact that the fact that there wasn't and isn't a Discord server, up to this point at least, is actually kind of interesting. And I'd never really thought about that, I suppose. A few matches in a row, I had 50 shots. XG's pretty poor amount of chances created. How do I up the quality of chances? So, I'll be honest with you, Michael. You couldn't be asking a worse person that exact information right now on account of what we've just witnessed. Generally, what I've been trying to do, because we had this exact same problem with our tactical setup where we would have a stupid amount of chances, but they just never seem to go in. You'd have players missing things all the time. And my conclusion came down to, I think it was a lot of junk XG. So a large quantity of low quality chances that statistically weren't going in as much as perhaps they would in real life. And so I tried to, but also when we tried to create the really high quality chances and get less of them, that seemed to be a bit shit as well. And what we've ended up with now is this sort of weird middle ground that does seem to work, but I did it by accident, which means it's really difficult for me to explain how it works because I don't know how it works. I wasn't even trying to make it happen. We literally just pushed a midfielder back into defense and then all of a sudden the tactic became goated and I don't know why. So what was the Fulham thing then? I've to reach the Europa League final. All the best things happen by accident. This is very true. Most of us were probably all accidents, right? What was the gist? And essentially the gist was that they've apparently had members of the community down to the studio to test the game. There's a Discord server coming. They announced not the release date, but that there was a release and that the month for it, right? Didn't mention anything about beta, did he? The thing that really pricked my ears up was when he said members of the community. I was like, okay, interesting. But that was the general. It's only like a 2-minute video, so it's. I must admit, when you said FM had put out a new video, my brain immediately flashed back to the 42-minute video from years ago that got memed to hell. No mention of roadmaps. We're learning. I think one of the biggest clubs not to win a major trophy. Trying to make controversy out of it. I was thinking about. Actually, we're talking about England, right? I mean, we've never won a major trophy. And over the last few years, there's been a few clubs that were in that sort of bracket that have now gone and won them. Palace, obviously, with multiple trophies now. I think people just like to make controversy out of anything, really. But that's sort of been known for quite a while, really. Fulham are sort of in that little bracket of teams that are consistently Premier League now that haven't won that major trophy. Our chance was the Europa League final, obviously. Only clubs who have Bobby Moore and George Best on their books at times. We've had some crazy players. I mean, Keggy managed us before England. I mean, Brighton, I guess it depends on... But as always, when people say biggest club, they're using a metric which is basically the club I support is the biggest club. Because big is not a... It's not a... Unless you have, like, qualifiers that actually like quantify what you mean by big, then it's sort of meaningless, ultimately. Yeah, he was just... God, I miss Keggy, man. I really do. Now, obviously, there's loan extensions to come up as well. Biggest it's 100% vibes, and it's usually just down to what club I watched when I was growing up / do I support this team currently, right? Exactly. Some clubs will say, hey, they've got lots of fans, therefore they're big, but they've never won anything. This club's won something, but they've got a smaller fan base. Does that count as big? Etc. This club has more followers on social media now, right? And when they say history, it's like, how much history? Like, did you win but I suppose if you won a trophy, that technically wouldn't count for this specific thing, I guess. But it is always one of those sort of like, could be a small club. No, exactly. It's like when you see those tier lists and they'll put like a random Premier League club in the D tier of it, or like, oh, they should be in League 2. It's like, they shouldn't though, should they? I don't like Brentford. They shouldn't be in League 2. They're a Premier League side. They've established themselves there now and have been for many years. That's how things go in those different eras, right? A major trophy. I guess it's so like, to me, when I'm thinking of major trophies, I'm thinking of European trophies, as in the current ones we have, / also Cup Winners' Cup too, because I feel like I miss the Cup Winners' Cup, man. Or like a league title in a domestic league, but not like a lower division one, because obviously Fulham have won multiple lower division titles. Club World Cup gets no respect. Hey, we'll get in there one day, right? We'll come a big... No, exactly. I mean, it's how far... I mean, yeah, FA Cup would count. League Cup counts as well, right? Presumably. It depends on which era. Hello, Hayden. How are you, friend? You'll be pleased to know that we lost the Champions League final, as we do. Dinner plate doesn't. Oh, I mean, what, Charity Shield? No. Ain't nobody counting Charity Shield for anything. What did Stoke City in the league over at? Yeah, exactly. Like, I think the best thing about the sort of Barclays era stuff and whatnot is that because it's a memory, right? We get to look back on those eras of the Premier League fondly in the same way that people 10 years from now will look back on the B's era of, and by that I mean, all the different B clubs. Because some of them probably will either go on to more, maybe, or they'll fall away in the same way that clubs always do, Clubs can rise fall as fast as they rise when you look at how quickly clubs can disappear down the leagues. Look at Leicester now in League One. Obviously, it's, and Sheffield Wednesday down, obviously in the Premier League for a while, but still, like, you see these clubs that just disappear so quickly. And Blackburn Rovers is another one of those teams that, for me, I feel like they feel Premier League to me, but that's just because the era of football I grew up watching, Blackburn were a Premier League side, and they had those players, the Gamps Pedersens, your two guys, your Ryan Nelsons. I love that Blackburn team so much. Yeah, FA Cup is a huge trophy as well. It's my second favourite cup competition in the entire world. I am going to try and get a little bit... Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do loan extensions. Or do I try that? I can't do it with the script because it's not working at the moment. David Bentley, yes. Chris Samba, Chris Samba was Blackburn, right? They won the league, but obviously I wasn't watching football because I was much younger at that point. When I started was like 2003, so my sort of version of Blackburn is like, I think they were newly promoted in that era along with Fulham, actually. Brett Emerton, yeah. Yeah, fuck it, I'm going to go to it. Just make sure I don't go past Roque Santa Cruz. He's still playing. I signed him on another save I was doing before Christmas with the Santa thing, which I might revisit this year, in fact. He's like 42, but you could still get him at the start of it. Same mistakes. I guess, well, what mistakes would they be, Matt? Like, he's not done anything. I don't think he's really... I think he's doing all he can, right? You can't really judge him based on the mistakes of the past of other people. We can always judge them what they're doing now, and they seem to be making a conscious effort to move forward. Name's one player of the season. He did get 11 assists, to be fair. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. I mean, I started watching... Because I used to like rugby more when I was younger. That was my thing growing up, was I would enjoy the hell out of rugby. I had a recording, like a VHS tape recording, of the 1995 World Cup final. You remember the South Africa one? My parents recorded for me while we went to do the big shop when I was like 5 years old. And that got burned in. Like, the tape was ruined after a while because I'd watched that so much, because what a game. But then after a little while, I just sort of started enjoying football a little bit more, for whatever reason. And mostly it was just because it'd be late night, it would be a Saturday, and I'd be watching the Premier League with Des Lynam, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I am starting to understand football a little bit more and enjoy it more. And so I just started liking football at that point. This was like 2002, 2003. The 2003 one, was that the Johnny Wilkinson one? Because I remember watching that in bed in like a Saturday morning or something. More normal than it became. Or I don't know about that half. I think I reached a certain point and then I started going backwards. Parents' bedroom, yeah. I remember, I think my dad, I would have been 13 years old, so it would have been like a Saturday morning watching that as well. Imagine my shock. Just you wait till I tell you about the Victoria Sponge muffins that Tesco's do are crazy expensive, and I would not recommend them unless they're on offer. But they are kind of banging, to be fair. It's a muffin with a Victoria Sponge. Like, what more do you want? Oh, our budget's like, this is going to be interesting, because I want to see if the finances are just as fucked this year as they were last year. No, they're not. Okay, great. The fact that the board have actually given us that kind of size budget is a good sign, because that also makes me think that the same thing isn't going to happen in the rest of Poland. So we should be able to get a good number of the loan farm players back again. I was really worried that might have ended up happening. But like, I mean, how did you guys, what was your first, not first memory of football, because I have memories of football prior to that, but like, what was your first sort of, I guess, football awakening, so to speak, where you went, this is something I can get behind, like actually enjoy this properly? Because I watched the 98 World Cup, and I remember David Beckham's free kick and stuff, but I was 8 years old, and I wasn't able to really participate in it from a intellectual level, if you like. And I still aren't. But you know what I mean? It was really in like 2002, 2003 that I was like, actually, you know, I do like this, and I am now a fan of this sport, and Fulham by extension, mostly because I got to choose a team, and apparently it was just because everyone around my area was basically either Chelsea, mostly Spurs and Arsenal fans in that part of Essex. Failing to qualify for the... Oh, God, yeah, I remember that as well. I was sat on my parents' floor watching England fuck it up in that game against Croatia. I think I'd just broken up with my girlfriend at the time. So it was a bad time. Porto 6. Okay, that's an interesting one. Italian 90. I feel like Italian 90 was a lot of... It feels like it goes in like stratas where there's certain events that sort of awake a generation of fans every couple of years. And then there's a few more dotted ones in amongst that as well. Like I remember watching the 2002 World Cup at school. Watching the England-Brazil game in a French classroom. So does the quality... I mean, it's never about the quality, is it really? Like, I didn't enjoy Fulham and become a Fulham fan because of the quality of football we play, although we actually played some okay stuff. It was more just because at the time, when you're a kid, you don't really care about... I mean, you do care about looking cool, but also I didn't give a shit about that. And, oh shit, why have I done this? There we go. Genuinely what it was Fulham had American players in the team. In my head, that was exotic. And it was like, oh, wait, Americans that play soccer? That's kind of cool. And then I started paying more and more attention to them. I just can't like them. Never look cool. I have you know, I put shades on occasionally half. I've been called dapper once or twice, mostly by Pog and my mum, but that's not the point. I saw my parents a month ago and they said I looked very healthy. They didn't say I looked cool, to be fair, so in a way you're kind of right. I nearly went ahead there. Newcastle want that? No, I want to not progress past this screen. Oh, I said mimosas. Okay, well, I will have a look at that. Or tradition. I guess... I mean, how many of you grew up in like heavily football supporting families where you basically support the team you do because of like either... Actually, no, excluding geography. Because of a parent. Because I imagine that's a lot of people, right? And I know some people choose football teams as well to spite said parent as well, because not because they don't like them, sometimes because of that, but also just because children are shithouses, aren't they, right? The amount of kids that go, you know what, Dad's a Liverpool fan. Suddenly I feel toffee today. Dundee United. Do you know Moscow? Okay. Had a Celtic sweatband on my wrist and a cousin gave me. Next Saturday, I was able to take... I was 6 years old to watch Rangers versus Cowden Beath. At least you got to saw a game that was like... I remember watching the 2003, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, FA Cup final, the Man United Millwall game. It was a random family gathering birthday party or whatever. And my cousin, who I think is a big Spurs fan, not that it's relevant to this, but this was when I had my first beer as well. He was like, do you want a beer? So we were just watching like the Millwall Man United game in his room having a beer or whatever. And I remember that and was like, oh, okay. It was terrible beer, obviously. But still, just little things like that you just sort of stick in your brain. Most family women, granddad was the only male more of a cricket fan. I feel like cricket does feel like a granddaddy thing for some reason. I feel like, for some reason, I don't know why. But it does feel like your granddad would be into it, regardless. This is the thing. So my parents both like football, weirdly, but neither of them were like verdant or ardent supporters of clubs. So it meant that I had to sort of pick myself in general. Like, my mum's a Palace fan, but she was a football fan after I was. So that was another having to choose things. And my dad, he loves football, but he doesn't have a team. It's really interesting, actually. R1 Camilo, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, DMP as well. I missed that. My apologies, friend. Thank you for that as well. I do appreciate it. When you find yourself as a Fulham fan. I was watching the Man United Millwall game and I went, do you know what? Today I feel Fulham. Imagine if that was the story. I feel like I'd get more respect if that was it. I watched those two and I thought, you know what? No, this isn't posh enough for me. Get rid of your beer and give me a Prosecco, then we'll talk. Leak him down. He's not... So this, you're witnessing loan extensions, friends. This is not something you normally get the pleasure of watching me do, mostly because it's horrible. I've done this the wrong way around. One sec. Right, there we go. I forgot that I had it sorted the wrong way. So what I normally do with these things is now, at least, to make it a little bit easier for myself, if I'm going through and I see a player at Pushcha, if they've not played, I just ignore them because it saves clicking, basically. He's Galatasaray, so we don't want that either. Favorite FM save? Oh, it's tough. I'll be honest with you. The Outcast to Icons from last year is definitely up there because of the stories and the things that happened in it. And a lot of the ways that I build saves with the different things I want to have happen in them, with the rules for Outcast to Icons, most of the time those rules never actually end up getting triggered, which is a bit of a shame. But things actually happened in that save that meant that it fell into the traps that I'd set up. And I think it made it way more fun that we actually did have to resign from our job and carry the story on. And just some of the weird things that happened in that save in general. Like the Scotland part of the save. Not that we were managing in Scotland, but the stuff that was going on in Scotland during that save was unreal. Where there was like 6 different title winners in 6 years and Celtic nearly got relegated. They were one of the title winners as well. So basically, Hayden, that's probably my plan for FM28 from the beginning, is to do something like an Outcast to Icons essentially from the start, because I do want to go back to it. I think it's probably one of my favourite save types. Plus, I also feel like I would have probably exhausted most of what I can do with a Building a Nation by that point, having gone back and started where I left off, essentially, with the original Building a Nation save that I did. Not that I ever really knew what I was doing with that. I mean, that was always the plan, but it just never quite was able to... Like, KS Belk. Are they actually a Polish side? Fair enough. As a kid watching West Ham go 2-0 to 3-0 down. That's the sort of thing. Like, it's... Being a football fan for me is about loving the rubbish. Otherwise... Because, you know, when you talk to other football fans, a lot of the time, the conversation is occasionally about, oh, remember when we won this? But more often than not, you're talking about, do you remember that ridiculous fuck-up when we got relegated or something? I feel like those stories are far more ingrained in, like, football culture than actually winning things. Oh, maybe that's just because I come from a background in football of not winning things. Nordic Nomads, yeah, I mean, that was my last attempt to see if I could actually make Let's Play stuff work on YouTube for what I wanted to do, and doing crazy shit, and I'm kind of glad I did that. To be fair, Nordic Nomads had a similar kind of structure to it to Outcast to Icons, just on a more domestic level. What am I doing? Wasn't loving this rubbish. No, I know, but like, you have to love the rubbish, I think. I think if you don't love the rubbish when it comes to football, you're going to be more miserable, weirdly, because most of football is disappointment. You know, that's like hell is other people. I feel like most of football is disappointment, and that's okay. Getting used to that disappointment, because it's what makes the good stuff good, is because it is 90% disappointment. I honestly think that I don't know how I'd be able to cope with Fulham actually winning stuff all the time. Even when we're good, it's like, we're not really that good. We have been a lot worse. I think it depends, right? Because ultimately it's all relative. So even if you're supporting a team like, say it's at Manchester City or an Arsenal right now, but actually less so Arsenal because obviously this is a new era for them, I guess. But I imagine it's still a case of it has its own troubles that come along with it because the expectations are there, right? So they are expected to win, whereas Fulham aren't expected to win, so there's less pressure. It's, I said expected to win. It depends on who they're playing, right? Yearly FM save would be too easy, exactly. I did way more Fulham saves back when we were a championship club than I do now. 99%, that makes it even better. How sick was the World Cup? I know it didn't go brilliantly, right? But just getting there alone. Like being in an abusive marriage sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it obviously isn't. But, like, I get the analogy, right? It's a love-hate relationship when most of it's hate. But that's okay. How did Gareth actually do here at Push? Okay, fair enough. What a season, by the way, for Chidera. 20 assists. That's wild. Yeah, to be fair, I've never really enjoyed doing Fulham saves in general because Fulham are never really in a position where anything that could happen in that save would be enjoyable to me because they always are usually Premier League or they're in the Championship, but they're absolute worst. And even that's just not the type of saves I do in FM. So I think that's different for some people, obviously. But which is why I'm really enjoying doing my local club save for the YouTube thingy because I'm actually getting to experience a save with a team that I have a lot of love for, but at the same time it doesn't feel boring because it's a different thing for me. And I'm actually enjoying it a lot. What I'm less enjoying is the fact that we threw away a 3-goal lead midweek against Mildenhall Town. So less of that, please. We're having a proper shitty time lately. I was a Rangers fan because his dad told me to pick a team Dundee. Okay. That is interesting that you sort of, if he's a Rangers fan, you went with Dundee. Was it, hang on, Dundee or Dundee United? Dundee United got battered by Hibs and I picked United. I like that. You pick the team that's good. Because you think to yourself, it's going to be like this a lot, but that's okay. I think there's a lot of players wrong. I guess, yeah. I mean, I did have one Fulham save where I think I did it for a beta a few years ago. I tried to play how we actually did play, and I think that's what made me not want to try that anymore, because the game is, it does its best job, but it's not great at replicating real-life tactics a lot of the time, right? Play FM in my spare time. Oops, excuse me. I don't really have a lot of spare time to play FM, because most of my time is playing FM as a result of my job, so as much as you're not seeing it currently because it's still in the pipeline, on like the non-stream days, that can sometimes be me playing FM for like 8 hours anyway to do the other thing. So there's just a lot of FM happening, hence the sheer number of hours that I actually have in 26. Are you. These are all the Pushta loans now, I think. It's nice of the game to stack them together for me for a bit. Bodder Striker moved outside to just go through the... Yes, Bodder, I mean, I feel for Jinjo, but Bodder, well, they're very good, aren't they? They just very are. They very are. Real life tactics. I mean, fair enough. Like, if you do, you do. But I struck... Maybe it's just because I'm not very good at it, in fairness. That's probably more of a... I tried to play Ryan Sessegnon in that Fulham team back then the way that Fulham were using him at the time, and it was just not possible. But this might just be because I was trying to use him as a round deuter, which is kind of how he used to play for us at the time. And you're aging men. Oh, God, we need him back. The meme well has runneth dry slightly, much like the Sprite in my fridge, without Liam Rossini around, right? God, I forgot how many there bloody were. Not that it makes any difference, because some of these guys are probably quite good, and we could do with them back at the club anyway. Like Chala, for example, he will definitely get a better loan next summer. I am noticing a dangerous amount of these down the side here. I'm hoping that's just because of contract expiry dates and not the same crap happening again. Wait, he actually plays them. Yeah, we'll have him. A former footballer being in trouble with the Inland Revenue? No, I refuse to believe it. What did he do? I'm assuming it was just, not paying tax, presumably. Or did he do the old, I've trusted this accountant and they've buggered off to Cyprus with all my money? Is he Paris? I don't know why I thought he wasn't Paris FC, but that's... I actually quite like that for him. I mean, they've got cash. What do you reckon? He's up at Strasbourg again. Won't declare bank up over unpaid tax. I mean, that'll do it. Well, I'm going to say that'll do it. I mean, ultimately, I wonder how much he owes. If you're going for bankruptcy, because he probably should be earning a decent amount, right? Wait, is like... Oh, that's 2043. Okay, phew. I was trying to extend loans that we literally couldn't extend. Right, hopefully, despite this being bad, a lot of this is probably just either false Neopura ones I accidentally clicked on, or players we don't care about. What I want to make sure is that we don't see anyone in here that's actually good. That's Castellini. Clayton is fine. Kavas. Suzuki is a little disappointing, but... to be fair, Gordon Xavier got relegated. So that's fine. Dutton Key, Delage, Diaz, Carosa, Cosino, Jamisa, Jimmy Victor. Most of these guys are relatively low value. Some of them, their contracts are probably expiring as well. Shells and Lend. That's perfect. That's absolutely fine. I didn't see a single player in there that I wouldn't want to... I didn't see a single player in there that I would want to not come back. So that's fine. So it looks like whatever happened last year was so strange. Still offer extensions? Really? Oh, okay. I've not paid enough attention to notice that. The next step, of course, though, is to then have to have... Oh, board announced new stadium plans will go ahead. Right, this is going to be a devastating blow to our finances, isn't it? Right. Oh, God. Well, season tickets. While that is absolutely, obviously, absurd, I think that's being blown out of proportion in the sense that while you can pay that for a season ticket, that isn't the price of a season ticket. Like, it's still stupid, and it's because of the Riverside stand and their silly attempt to be all this silly corporate bollocks, right? But that isn't actually how much a Fulham season ticket costs. But I have seen the same chart that you're referring to, like the most expensive season tickets, and there is one at Fulham that is like £3,500 or some crazy shit, which is still mental. Oscar Bob is the new Willian. It's going to be a while till we find out for sure. He's going to have to at least join Fulham twice more. Indeed, I'm going to Italy, don't you know? I'm off to Tuscany. Who misses Willian? I do. I mean, his second spell wasn't fantastic in fairness, but I just miss his vibes, right? Kota Arbe. Good God, they're... actually, it's not too much money. I'll let them get away with that. Because sometimes if you try to dick with it, they will just say no, which is frustrating. Well, looks like we're getting a good amount of loans back out again, which is good. Mistake. No, I decided to the deal with the loans first, then come back to the stadium in a minute. Just to make sure I didn't accidentally click the wrong button or something. And it's a delicate process doing loan extensions, and it's why I usually do it off stream if I can do. I have had it on my list for a little while to reassess the loan extension script because it doesn't work currently. Have their own special beer. I don't know, actually. I guess it's like... If I had to guess, I imagine that most stadiums usually have they'll probably have a beverage partner, right? I don't know for sure. I imagine Fulham's one would be some crazy beer that no one's ever heard of that's £13 a pint or some crap. So season ticket prices for the most expensive. It's because of posh. No, again, this is what I'm saying. It's... I know what you're referring to, but again, that is the most expensive season ticket, and it is that price. But that isn't the price of season tickets. It's the stupid Riverside thing that we did. The club are trying to claw back their money by targeting a very few specific season tickets to ultra wealthy people, basically to fill out the Riverside stand, which cost the club a lot of money. That's why they're doing it. We're still above average, way above average in terms of our season ticket prices, but that is not representative of like the actual prices. Basically, it's it was like £3,400 or something, right? I think it was the Athletic I saw it on earlier. It's a stupid amount. And if you pay that, frankly, that's more for you type thing, isn't it, right? I do miss playing Reading, though. The old Waitrose derby. I mean, it's not misleading in the sense that, like, that is technically true. But it's not the average price of our season tickets, or even, like, the median, right? They're still quite high, though, compared to Hull City, for example. I think Hull's was the lowest, right? It was like 690. Hello, Lucas Aid. How are you, my friend? I'm just extending some loans. Reading in the next round of the Cup. Oh... I remember when Fulham and Reading had this weird animosity for a little while. It was quite fun. Mostly just because we used to always meet in the playoffs. And then there was the whole Lucas Piazon thing. I miss him, man. What's he up to these days? I feel like he's still on loan from Chelsea somehow. Fulham or Bournemouth more posh. I mean, if you'd ask most football fans, they say Fulham. And that probably is still the case. But like, it depends on what you even call that, right? Because I guess the only way you'd really be able to find out is to look at like the average income levels of supporters, I suppose. But is that even posh? Because... Actually, I'll tell you who's most posh. Peterborough. I'm so sorry that it took so long to make that joke. That was absolutely asinine of me that I waited until there to make that joke. Peterborough, the poshest club, for sure. Is there any other clubs in England that have posh as a nickname? It was right there. Oh, Santelli going back on loan. The fact that players like Marabesi are going back is a really good sign, even though he's not going to be in Europe next year, which really fucking sucks. And I am disappointed in that immensely, but that's also my own fault for throwing a final to Jagiellonia. They better at least take some good loans off me, otherwise I'll be pissed. The fact that Ander Redondo is still out on loan, he's 33 years old now. That's insane. He might be the longest loan farmer of the whole lot. He's playing at Wisła Kraków. Okay, that's actually really cool. Only Island Club. Ely C. Don't know what you're talking about. Up the island. We're taking back the fens. We're going to flood it. To be fair, the way that it's been raining today, I wouldn't be surprised if we were an island again. Nearly there. That's true. All English clubs are on an island. That's a very good point. Royals are full structure above them. Yeah, that's just a good point. Reading are the Royals. We're simply cottagers. We're just little tiny cottagers. Just no. You should know just as well as anything. You'll jump down my throat when I say the tiniest little thing wrong that leaves any little bit of wiggle room for a joke in there. I'm going to dive into that spot immediately. Now, stadium plans. Let's go. Okay. The board have announced the club have granted planning permission to build a new stadium. The new venue will have an approximately 45,500 seat undersoil heating and a retractable roof. Look at us go. The board have secured a loan of £33 million. I can't help but feel like the stadium will probably cost more than that. And we've got an additional funding from £32 million in stadium sponsorship. Okay, but where's the rest of the money coming from? Because our finances have now suddenly gone down to 30 million in the bank. The game thinks we have 147 million in the bank, but now we have... So they've definitely taken some... Hang on, let me look at the expenditure. 150 million. Ground... Yes, ground maintenance is what we're calling it. It's a little bit like putting down a house purchase as miscellaneous. Hello, Melbourne. I would have found a loan move for several players at most, and the rest of the young players stay with that loan move rocking in the 19 team. What's the best way to guarantee a loan move? There is no such thing as guaranteeing a loan move. All you can really do is continually offer them out, transfer them out. It depends on what league you're playing in, what the gap is between you and the teams you're trying to offer them to. There's a lot of context missing that it makes it hard for me to give you a proper answer, but ultimately there is no guaranteed way to do it. It's just about time, a lot of it. What we should do is get Fred Dibner to come along and blow up the old one. How big is our old one? Because it feels like it's it's at least 30, isn't it? We get pretty big attendances. They also didn't say anything about the name of the stadium, did they? Maybe they don't do that until they announce it properly. What was our 33,000 for the game against Gornik Zabzha? Yeah, so it's about 33,000 is our stadium. So we're getting all that for a 12,000 increase. It's not great, is it? Especially as it's cost us £150 million. Only loan out when players turn 18, right? It depends on the league. Some leagues you can loan players out younger than that. So, for example, in Poland, we can do it at 17, and we always do. In Denmark, you can do it at 15, which is crazy. Yeah, true. I'll have expansion as well, which will cost us another £150 million. The problem... Harry Kane won Manager of the Year. Shocker. I do wonder if it's going to bugger our finances next year, potentially, because we are down to a bit of a low bank balance. Like, our budget is now higher than our bank balance as a result of that. I don't know, I've gone on this page. Like, our transfer budget is £61 million. We only have £30 million in the bank right now. Which does make me wonder if the board might change their mind in a minute about... Oh, well, they've already done it now, but that is concerning. But at least it's because of... because of the stadium, not just a random thing. Sundry expenses, yeah. Just like, what's this line item of 400 grand? It's like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It was dinner. Really posh dinner. Okay. It is weird that they haven't told you the name. To be fair, I've not had a new stadium in FM26 before. So I'm guessing... would be lucky if we even see the opening of the new goddamn stadium. It'll probably be called... let me see. Like, realistically, it's probably going to be called... Imagine they just call it the Jens Kjørtedal Arena. Am I even on... Oh, I am on there. It probably won't even be named after one of our players anyway, or me. It'll likely be named after a club legend that exists already, so it can't really be named after Mr. Raymond. I'd love it if in the Mauro More Stadium. Man's not even here. There hasn't really been any stadium changes in the extra class, as far as I know. How do I see this? Is it on clubs? I don't believe there's been any changes to this. We'll be able to tell really quickly. Oh, maybe there has. Arena Loop. No, that's probably the name of the stadium, isn't it? I think these are all the actual names of the stadiums. You can tell pretty quickly because it will be called something like the Polish Footballer Arena. Oh, Wichita. Oh, true, yeah, Wisła Kraków Stadium. Wow, what a name. Where did they come up with that idea? Yeah, you're right, opened in 2028, so I think they're the only ones that have had a new stadium in this game, and that might even be a hard-coded thing anyway. Oh, because it didn't have a... Yeah, so that's the only one, I think. Speaking of actually... How did the playoff final happen? Polonia beat onto the top flight. They're all pretty large indeed, yeah. It's not like a lot of, for example, with the in 24, when we were doing Malta, the clubs had such small stadiums that a lot of them were needing to improve them. Whereas with Poland, as you see, some of those are pretty large to begin with, so there's that. I'd love it if there was fictitious sponsors. What's this? Oh yeah, the video. Yeah, we had a little look at the video earlier. Honestly, it's encouraging to just see the communication heading in the right direction for it, to be honest. Did that. Let me just check that right. I can actually hit continue again now. That actually wasn't too painful doing the load extensions on stream. It's not as bad as it once was. It still would have been nicer if I could have hit a button and it does it for me.
Afternoon, Matt.
But it's better. Jerry, thank you very much for the 3 months, friend. How are you, my friend? I've said to my friend twice. That's how close we are. Let me see. I've had it's actually brightened up a little outside now, which is kind of nice, but it's so muggy in this room. Like, I know it's 27, right, which is fairly warm, but it's the humidity here is outrageous. Oh, you're probably right. I should save. Yeah, sick. That could have gone poorly. Tammy to Ipswich. Ipswich are kind of... They're making moves. And it's nice for them to be signing a player that isn't from Fulham. Still time, of course, but... Is that a link? Or like... Kowalski? Yeah, they always say this, and it's usually a shitty bid of about, I don't know, 52 million or something. Okay, it's 103 million. I'm still not selling him, but... Is he really only 23? I'm glad we sold the robot when we did, actually, because... He was older than Kowalski, and... I'll tell you what, I'm starting to think that Kowalski might have a higher ceiling than Steinbergen does. Maybe he has a higher PA. Maybe he's still fairly inconsistent. Yeah, he might eventually get back to being... I mean, he played well in the finals, to be fair. He may get to a stage of being at best average there. Any ASEC Mimosas players? That was a couple. That's 3 guys that made the cut. What we got here? Seme Basinga. It's a goalkeeper with 20 rushing out tendency and 15 punching. Go on, Seme. He's only 16 as well. He loves a scrap, does old Seme here. Amazing. Only person that is a legend at stadium coming down after him is Henrik Ramos. So, oh, I see. So you're saying there's a likelihood that they just name it after him again? It'd be funny if they actually just build a new stadium and name it after the same guy as the first one. We'll change the name of the stadium anyway. That's a very eccentric... There's Danadu is a great name too. Just rolls off. There's another guy in here. Ahmad Mbeya. There's another goalkeeper with high punching. What are they breeding? What are they sticking in the water specifically at ASEC Mimosas? That's 2 goalkeepers that love a scrap. I like them more because of it. There's also a Landry in here. Landry Kwame. I'm surprised he's not a goalkeeper too. Accelerate boy, in fairness. Any more? There's another guy down here. Oh. Okay. Bro loves an accent. Ben Meleke. Not a goalkeeper. Still aggressive, though. Oh, we're going to 2 today because I've got to get off to get my hairy cut. Don't know why I said it like that. Oh, shit, wrong button. I was just looking down the ASEC Mimosas list here, actually. Where have they gone? There was a whole little gaggle of them there. There's 3 more of them. Admittedly, the PA is probably not great. This guy's got quite high CA, though. He is 20. Omar Tano. Okay. And Mamadou Fofana. Oh, no, his technicals aren't great, unfortunately. Proves that maybe. No, it's more that I originally was supposed to be doing it tomorrow, but actually... Oh my god! We'll probably do sign this guy, though, right? Pierre Kone. Holy shit! And he's 19, so it's not like he won't sign for us. Bloody hell! What was his... I guess he's probably got no seating, but still. What was the seating that she had on him? Oh, wait. To be fair, he's probably quite good now, isn't he? 6'4", high jumping reach. Look at his mental attributes. Like, he's not the... Oh, he's very much a deep-lying type of player, but my god, as a ball-playing defender, he would be absolutely outrageous, although the heading ability does leave a lot to be desired. Either way, he's very fun. And he's called Pierre. Yeah, he's like slow Kowalski. Actually, I might as well just look at ASEC Mimosas specifically to see who they've actually got. Do team report the old-fashioned way, you know? Team report club final, right? What are we saying? So he we already knew about. Kwame Fofana, Melekele, Tone, Kiasi Gaba. Oh, he's just I am right side. First centre back shot, maybe. Yeah, I think you'll find you mean defenders on a date that is blind. Hello, FM Gamer. Start the old-fashioned way. Yeah. I do steam-powered scouting, you know? Throw another lump of coal on the fire. They've got a Sessignon down here. He's 23 years old, but I'm curious about him, though. 85 million on... That's... I didn't realize the money was as much as that. Has that gone through? There's a couple of guys here, actually. Oh, no, we looked at Gabba. This guy underneath him looks like he's got all right CA as well. Jores de Oro. Another quite... Well, they've got some quite ball-playing kind of centre-backs. Might scout him a bit further. And back at Yoko. He's only 16 in fairness, so he's younger. Look at the determination as well. Let me just move to the left. How every single player, bar Frank Bamba here, has absurd determination as well. That's insane. There's Bent Zahana Oni. Weirdly, for some reason he sounds like the name of an anime and I don't quite know why. Suleiman Dumbia. This guy down here's got really good... yeah, I can see what the issue is there potentially. NMC SW. Thank you for the follow, friend. I appreciate that. Cheapest tickets in contrast. Oh, is this the... Wow, we're actually not the top of that. Jesus Christ. I didn't realize it was as expensive as that. So we kind of hit both ends of the spectrum, but I would wonder how... I would imagine there's just as few of those tickets around for us as there are the other side of things as well. How's it going, man? We were just looking at some ASEC Mimosas players, because apparently they've been hiding all of them from us. They've got quite a big squad. Do they have a second team, or is this... No, they don't. Which actually makes it much easier for me to actually scout them. But it's crazy how good their determination is. Loads of PS in there too. Big fan of that. But this is why we scout them ultimately. So you do see things like this. That's also why I think sometimes I should take a closer look at some of the scout reports as well. Because I probably wouldn't have even paid much attention to Pierre Kone realistically. But obviously you can't look at every single player's profile all the time. It's when he probably said, yeah, this is the one with the 3,400 one. Oh, it's only 3,000. My apologies, chat. It's only £3,100. A huge saving, I'm sure you'd all agree. You should play us on this last night. Oh, nice. Well, there's a brand new one of these out today. I appreciate that, friend. Did you recently come across the channel, or is it just a decision to start the playlist now? I'm curious. Either way, thank you for joining us. Bad news on... Actually, no, I won't say that because that'd be a spoiler. But good/bad/news. Some kind of news has happened, possibly, somewhere. I would be the worst newsreader of all time. But maybe I'm the world's... Maybe I'm what the world needs, you know? I won't give you bad news, because I won't be giving you any news. And sometimes a state of ignorance is bliss. I'm just outside in the rain with my geese. Oh, okay, you went for a youngster contract. A little concerning. Just don't talk. Right, it's fine. It's gone now. It's just response wanted. F24. Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, obviously all the tips and the guide videos will be back with 26, no doubt. I imagine that a lot of them will be largely reiterations, but I always like to go through and check my working because... Oh, dear. To be fair to Ashankiti, he has made it most way through the season without getting an injury. Verted streams have got healthy with my sleep. There you go. It's daylight and you're with us, Hayden. Things you'd love to see. How are you? I hope you're like keeping well, like yourself in general. I had some absolutely gopping sleep schedules when I was about 18 years old, to the point where I would regularly have to basically stay up all night in order to be tired the next day to fix my sleep schedule, only for it to revert back to being absolutely horrendous again 2 weeks later, you know. The amount of cheese I ate in bed late at night as a teenager is unfathomable amounts of dairy products. Let's just be honest with that, right? I probably watched Stephen Fry in America on BBC iPlayer at 3 in the morning about 50 times, to be honest. Great show for that kind of thing. Sometimes it can be overkill, though. Ironically, what snapped me out of it was another one of my all-nighters where I was so tired the next day. I was sat there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon the following day, flagging, obviously, and there was a knock on the door. And it was some friends of mine that had come around to tell me that another friend of mine had passed away. And that just completely, even though it was nothing to do with that in any way, it just snapped me out of it entirely. Cheese Perry, yeah. Oh, we're just talking straight up cheddar here. Some cheese, some bread, some nice crusty bread, some butter that's a little bit cold. Cold, but still spreadable, but also still butter, you know? Is that what I think can get cheesy? Yes, it is. It's in my culture. Bread fried, oh, exactly. Cheese. Up for 11, which is good, yeah. I mean, I didn't have as much of a problem getting up. Weirdly, waking up was fine. It was then getting out of bed. Oh dear, it's moderate. He's going to die. I would wake up at a reasonable time, but I would just not be able to get out of bed a lot of the time before. But now, I have to be up at 8 every morning, no matter what. I mean, today I was up earlier, obviously, because we have things to do, but that's one thing that has certainly changed since the medications. I'm regimented in terms of like schedules now. It's been useful, and getting my sleep under control on the other side of it has been really helpful too, like going to bed at a sensible time, not drinking caffeine too late, not eating too late. I've noticed that my resting heart rate overnight has been steadily dropping now, which is nice because I was really struggling with that before. Media filmed Deacon Gonzalez being unveiled at Valencia. They filmed him being unveiled at Newcastle last night. Wow. Wait, so he filmed him on 2 different unveilings? Oh, it's like lost media, isn't it? Colbert still Sorry, Chris, that took me. Oh, I can't believe it's not cheating. Slept during the day and woke up tonight to go to Mac. Oh, God, yeah. See, I imagine I would have been just like that were I living away at uni. But I was still living at home during uni, which I regret doing just because I feel like I missed out on part of the uni experience in many ways. But I also wonder if, all the decisions you make lead now, right? Changed Matt's life. That's true, yeah. It was actually Harv was the cheese. Who knew? I was really excited about Azeta Lahi, and he has really not panned out well at all. Has he actually got good attributes, or am I just judging him based on start? Okay, never mind. Okay, I take that back. How is he only valued at £2.8 million? This guy's unreal. I mean, his tackling's not great, but still. Another example of why I need to look at players a bit more frequently. Discussing, yeah, but it's like one of those things when you're in those bad times, a lot of things like, for example, personal hygiene and stuff go out the window. I remember, this is all documented, unfortunately, on YouTube back in the day when you could see like the straggly beard, the fact that I was clearly incredibly overweight, and all these things was because I wasn't right up here, which means that you start losing track of other things, and it all just kind of falls away, doesn't it? You know, I'd have been making stuff food, and it just, oh my God, yeah, that's. And then you hit a point where you look at yourself in general and things like that, and then you kind of go, the fuck am I doing? And that's usually what it takes to then pull out the other side, right? And sometimes it doesn't take one time of that. Sometimes it can happen multiple times before you start to get the grips with things. But that's okay, because life's a journey, right? And as long as you're heading in the right direction, you could at least be content with that, right? Polish national team for World Cup. True, yeah. World Cup's coming. Kind of like, oh my God, yeah. I haven't never quite had that happen to me, but the same kind of mental pathways could have easily led me to that same point, right? But I'm glad you're feeling better, man. That's the most important thing, right? It's to be able to look back, and that's the past and not the now, right? Let's actually have a look at the World Cup setup, because Poland's squad should already be assessed now, or certainly being close to it. Definitely loads of loan farmers in there, that's for sure. What have they got? How many of them actually play in Poland? So Julian's in there. Who's Julian? Oh, I know Julian. He was that DM dude that was at Zagłębie Lubin, right? Yes. Oh my God, he's moved for a lot of money over the years. Couldn't ask for help. That's always the problem. I'm trying to think if I ever really asked for, like, I'd been to the doctors, but I'd always, the usual kind of get dismissed with things. What was the what do you have to be anxious about? I believe that was the one that really made me go, do you know what? I don't think I'm coming back. That was the one that really made me go, okay, yeah, this is not my place. He's still a really good player, actually, in fairness to him. Final goal. Unfortunately, Viva, it went poorly in the sense that we played brilliantly. We were 1-0 up at half-time, battering them, and then we lost the game 3-2. Out of absolutely nowhere, because our goalkeeper, as usual, absolutely shat the bed. Standard rinse and repeat type beat, unfortunately. Hello, Jose. Yeah, Saul Aranda, probably one of the only players we've sold to Saudi, and my God, his numbers are unreal. Albeit in a Farmers League, but still. Joao Virginia. Oh, that's a really good signing for Championship. Joao Virginia. He was such a fun goalkeeper. I can't remember which save it was we had Joao Virginia. Was it either MTK or it was Treaty United? But he was such a good keeper on that save. Feels like a lot of the good keepers I've actually had on saves over the years have ended up being the real life guys. It is 2 o'clock. You're absolutely right, Hayden. Thank you for noticing. I would have continued jabbering otherwise. Apologies that it's slightly earlier stopping today. It was the only time I could get a haircut appointment, so I have to get going. But we'll be back on Tuesday, because I'm at the Slough game this weekend for charity stuff. On Tuesday, we'll start on the centre-back chiller. Or defenders on a date that is blind and whatnot. Right, let me see who's actually live this afternoon when we're a little bit early. Is Ben playing FM again now? He was playing GeoGuessr this morning when I came on. Let's see who's actually about. We've got options, actually. Actually, we're going to raid Dan, because I believe Dan I'm going to be seeing this weekend as well. Centre-backs go dating? I mean, there's options. ! Tactics will get you the tactics pack, including the one that just lost us the Champions League final, should you want to replicate such things. Oh, dear. It's actually, the match is on Saturday, just to bear that in mind. It is Saturday, 11 a.m. on Callum's channel. I'll tweet it out at the time. Tactics is like a full pack of them, basically. Did that even work? I didn't even do... Why did that not work? How weird. Let's try that again. And Twitch. There we go. What did I put differently? That looks like the exact same string of text, unless I accidentally put a spacebar before it. We've messed up the outro. Thankfully, we don't have a prediction for the outro. Otherwise, I'd have lost all of that one as well. So, I need a piss as well. So, enjoy the rest of your day, my friends. Hopefully, the weather's slightly better than where it is where I am. And I'll see you lovely folks on Tuesday. Tune in for the charity match. Take the piss out of me. I look forward to seeing clips of it where I inevitably fall over a lot. That's fine. I'll use it for content. I will clip farm the life out of it.